Hey. All right. What is up, beautiful people? We're going to try this one more time. It is your Wolf Brother Mythos Cushionata from the channel, Frost and Fist. And welcome to this third, fourth, fifth attempt at a live stream. The amazing guy in blue over there who looks just like Jeff Goldblum is...
Why?
You really do, though. You really do.
God. I think I'm Freak. I want to say I'm Freak.
He could be Jeff Goldblum.
I could be Jeff Goldblum. I wish I had his money. So, big distinction. Anyway.
I guess that might be a distinguishing point there.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. And who's this guy? Where we pick this guy from? Huh?
Hello, my name is Peter. I am exchange student from Ukraine. No, hey guys, it's Steve from Who Took What Ice Mitch Wargaming. How's it going? Thanks for having me on the channel again.
He didn't mean that.
Right.
I'm just playing. Steve, welcome back on the show, my brother.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so far we have James Meeks in the house and Archer's in the chat. He says, there we go. Apparently, with the chat function disabled and our stream having some problems, I would imagine that these guys who are on the ball were already ready to go. We just had to get it together, as Morty would say. We had to get our shit together, okay? We need to get it together and put it in a backpack just so that it's together. But if we need to take it somewhere, take it to or take it to a shit museum, but just so that it's all together.
Gotta have your stuff together.
Have it all together, man. Come on.
Look, Rick and Morty.
I had it together, then the bag broke.
Oops.
Oh, man, that's always rough.
It was all over the place, just everywhere.
I have a pupper, and I can only imagine. We got to put it in a baggie, you know. Pick up after your puppy. I can only imagine if that broke.
Poop.
Let me get the poop jokes out of the way.
No, freaks on this show. They're never completely out of the way.
They're always there.
All right, guys. So
it's like a festering steamer, you know?
An upper decker?
All right, so
barnstorming.
Well, maybe we do like on Facebook and just leave the conversation. All right, so guys, that literally happens. Sometimes Freak will just go for like 10 minutes.
And so does Mythos. He goes away for 10 minutes. He leaves.
And then somebody's got to invite me back to the chat. I don't know what kind of settings they have either, because I can't even decline it. I just come back into the chat.
You can't get away from him if you want to.
Wait, serious.
All right, guys.
Focus.
I know we just did it a minute ago, but we didn't have the show together, so let's go again.
All right.
Steve, my brother, what you been working on? What you got for a poke chat?
Me? I'm working on a dreadnought.
Working on a dreadnought.
Again, a different dreadnought than last time, but a dreadnought. And I need to get them done. They've been sitting there. This is one of those Assault on Black Reach dreadnoughts from 10 years ago now.
Wow.
Something like that.
And you know, that's been
long enough.
People have said for a long time, you want a cheap dreadnought, even if you want to convert up something like a Venerable Dread or something like that. Everybody's always said, go get you an Assault on Black Reach dreadnought.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to work with. The basic dreadnought.
So it's been a while since we've talked to you, and if you've only gotten the dread done, I think this may come up to a later topic that we have. But sometimes with life, it's hard to get the hobby in, huh?
Exactly, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You got to get in where you fit in, huh?
Pardon me?
I said you got to get in where you fit in, huh?
Try to. Not always. It's not always possible, and But you got to do it. You eventually get around to it. Just making the time and prioritizing.
Mm-hmm. That's the biggest thing, is trying to find a balance for everything. Of course, your life, work, hobby balance. That's one of the biggest things, the hardest things to juggle sometimes.
Exactly.
All on the same scale.
Yep.
Whenever you do find time to get that hobby in, I know it's also hard to, balance in on that, instead of just going straight hobby. I mean, people like us, we've got to try and when you YouTube your hobby, that takes up part of the time too.
Yeah,
we'll see some of those Tactica videos of yours sometime soon, though.
Eventually, at some point, when I get around to them.
I know you've been a busy man. You got a lot on your plate.
Oh, tons, but thus is life.
You're so right.
A couple of times today, Freaky and I were talking about getting into some Tactica videos too, so we may lean on some of your expertise about putting together Tactica videos.
Go for it, man. The more the merrier.
Hey, asking one YouTuber to another, how do you... I mean, you're obviously pretty confident in your tactics to, tell people on the YouTubes, some good strategies and tactics. Do you ever worry that you're going to get a hyper-competitive person in your chat come in there and just destroy what you've said about tactics?
Not really. Tactics are different for everybody, and it depends on how you decide to use a particular unit. And I really only just covered basic stuff. If I want to get into something more, a bit more specific, like, God, I don't even know right now. Everything's changing so quickly all the time. There was, multiple small units or stuff like that. Tax units. I'll get into that a little bit later, but tax units, stuff like that. How to build up your armies now with the constantly changing meta. No, I'm pretty sure someone would come after me, but that's it's part and parcel what happens when you go on YouTube. Someone's going to come after you eventually.
That's true. That's true.
It's not a big deal.
And it's funny because we've seen both sides of this, because Freak and I have, been, of course we also do the YouTube thing, and of course it's always a thing on kind of my back burner that I think about sometimes, is like, hey, I'm here to talk about these games and these units from the perspective of someone who plays the game to have fun, right? We're not hyper competitive tournament players or anything like that. We're definitely we're the beer and pretzels kind of guys, right?
Yeah, just like that.
Although I don't think I've actually ever had any pretzels while playing Warhammer. Anyways,
we may have to change that.
But yeah, we're definitely.
It gets all over your models. It's gross.
I like soft pretzels.
But while we enjoy that, like I said, that's always been kind of a concern for me, is that somebody who's going to be, really super, and don't get me wrong, admittedly knowledgeable, but just in a different way than I normally play, might come in and destroy what I've said. But at the same time, I never claim to be, a tournament winner or anything like that. It's just my point of view, So.
Yeah, I mean, you just thank them for their comment and you move on.
Honestly, I don't think I would mind some kind of, opposing thoughts, because that will be just a contribution to, what you may already have. As long as they're not being douches about it, I think it works out just fine.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. You're always going to get someone like that at some point who's going to be, oh, this guy thinks he knows something. All right, well, I'm going to show him, and you just say thanks for your opinion.
And of course, we've seen the other side of that, though, where it's one thing to go from a perspective of someone enjoying the game, but then we've seen someone say some things that are just so left field or wrong that it's just like, okay, it's one thing to just be like, hey, this is a different level, right? A non-competitive thought process. But it's another thing to not even be applicable to the rules. For instance, and I'm not doing any name calling, but what if somebody told you that, hey, it's okay if Thunderwolf Cavalry are weak against shooting armies and can't go into the buildings after them, you know what? Just circle the building and wait for those shooting armies to come to you. Can you imagine how that translates on the tabletop? I don't want to be that guy. I definitely do not want to be that guy.
That's when you get slapped with a bag full of dice. Hard.
Everybody has a difference in opinion, and that's okay. It doesn't make it the gospel. It doesn't make it that right. Makes it less right, but you know.
It's my Ultramarine Blue.
Again, it's all about perspective, right? Everybody has their own, and you know, we have ours. We've, you know, based on our experience or lack thereof. Same thing with everybody else that comments, you know, and other channels. So,
technical question: my chat just disappeared. How does yours look?
It's still here. Let's ask the guys. Hey guys, can you guys go ahead and type some stuff for us so we can see what's going on? The last one I saw, Hellchild from Hellworks. I know he.
Hellchild! Sorry, I had to say that.
Thomas. There you are. Yeah. Okay. So they're good.
Okay. It's just my phone.
Yeah. They're still there. Everybody's saying hello.
Okay. It was just some lag. It like all of a sudden updated all at once.
There were some pretty good poop jokes in there I can actually revisit, but I'm sure you want to just move on. Okay. Never mind.
All right. Well, hey, we've got some new faces in the chat. Of course, wow. This updated a lot at once. Okay, so 40K RPG. I've actually never played 40K RPG, and I know Freak hasn't either. Steve, you ever played any of the 40K RPGs?
Years ago, what was it called? I tried one that came out years ago. Precursor to the one, so now I can't remember what it's called right now.
40K RPG?
Well, they all have different names. I don't know which one it was, but yeah, I tried it for a little bit. It was good. There was a whole insanity application to it where you could actually go completely insane, and wow, that's hot. I looked away for a second, looked up, and ooh.
Freak is good.
Oh la la, comment ça va, monsieur?
Oh, I like our brother Tim. Running Bear says, because I mentioned the beer and pretzels. Running Bear says you all need salami, cheese, Ritz crackers, and some beer to make it fun. That's awesome.
Yeah, but he said that because the afterthought or after effect. Yeah.
Mr. Mini Dreams. I don't think I've ever had the pleasure of seeing you in the chat before, Mr. Mini Dreams. So welcome to the show, sir.
We hope we don't run you off. Yeah.
Which is a real danger here.
Yes, it is. Joining this, you never know.
Archer says he just base coded a metric ton of Primaris Marines with lead belcher and gunmetal. That's awesome.
Nice.
Mr. Mini Dream says tomorrow he plans to finish up Death Guard before the kids wake up. That's awesome. Archer's also working on a tester model for some space sharks. Oh, sweet. Carcadons? Am I pronouncing? Oh, actually, Steve was there. He was working for Games Workshop when they came out. What's the right way to say that, sir?
I think it's supposed to be Carcharderons.
Carcharderons.
Yeah.
Shark attack.
Yeah, the space sharks. It's a much better name than Space Sharks, which is that's one of those old third ed. Actually, I think it's one of those old second ed or first ed space renames back in the day when naming things weird names was cool.
If anybody was a kid back in the right time period and you remember the show Street Sharks, let me know in the comments below.
Oh, good Lord, Street Sharks.
A commission of Death Guard from Dark Imperium. That's awesome. Well works in the house. Mr. Mini Dreams built his first vehicle for Death Guard, converted a Stormfang gunship into a land tank. I don't know whether to be really impressed by that or appalled for my space wolves. That sounds really awesome, though. I'd like to see pictures of that. Or if you're going to have
be appalled. Astro Militarum should not have technology like that. That's not made for them. Should be appalled and angry.
Definitely, I'm going to have to check out your channel if you post that up on your channel, because I'd like to see that. Happening Running Bear, Hellchild, Mr. Mini Dreams. Kind of regret buying the No Fear box. Should have just gotten Dark Imperium. Can't agree with you more, my brother. Salt. What are we being salty about? Have we gotten salty about anything already? I mean, it's kind of early in the show.
There's always salt going on in here. I mean,
You're always salty.
I have been calm, cool, and collected this entire time.
Why are you getting salty, man? Calm down. Jeez. Oh my God.
They have a new one out now.
Oh, it's so angry.
Think about the new RPG.
Sorry.
You know what? I would really consider playing that.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. That would be a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Star Frontiers. It was an RPG, kind of like it was way back in the day, around when when D&D first came out, sort of. It came out a little bit after D&D, and it was called Star Frontiers. And the thing is, they made a couple of modules, and then it just went away. And that was such a fun, really amazing. It was all based sci-fi. I would love to play something like that again. And I think, an RPG and Warhammer stuff, that would be amazing.
Unfortunately, I don't think it was until I was around 15 or 16 I got started getting into RPGs and stuff like that. So I think that may have been before my true nerd self really arose. Running Bear still has the box set for Star Frontier. And we got Darklight Dreamer in the house. My brother from the same mother. All right, so Freakalicious, what have you been working on for the past week or so, sir?
Well, first of all, I'm going to say, dude, that is freaking awesome that he still has the Star Frontiers box set. That is so awesome. Oh my gosh. You got to send me pictures of that. That is just
right in the
man. That is so cool. Anyway, kind of same as last week. I really don't have a whole lot. I've been dealing with a freaking kidney stone. It's been just harassing and bugging the hell out of me. Like right now, it's on my lower right side, and every now and then I just feel like it just goes, So I may just have that little cringe look in my face sometimes. It's not because I got gas. That's a different look. Another gas poop choke. You're welcome. And then so every now and then it'll kind of feel like I'm getting stuck with a knife. But this whole week has been kind of rough. All I can do is really just kind of sit down, relax, try to take my mind off the stuff. Haven't really had any motivation at all. I've tried to sit down and paint something. It's been bad.
Pain tends to kill that motivation.
Yeah, and being really tired a lot, that's kind of rough too because I'm not sleeping as well. So,
Darklight Dreamer says, "Owies." James Meek says he loves Star Frontiers. How about Gamma World? So, I have never heard of those, but I would definitely say I do have some experience with one of the older ones. For a while there, Razzie and I played GURPS for a while and then Rifts. So we do have some experience with the old school RPGs. Gamma World was good, and that's old school Tom. Pretty sweet.
It sounds really familiar. It really does.
I've heard of all of those, man. Those are all the old school, late 80s, early 90s stuff.
Yeah, when I first heard of Star Frontiers, it was mid 80s.
Yeah,
and it was oh man, it was just a lot of fun.
I hate when you're wet blending and you get to an area that's just started setting up. You didn't realize it was drying that fast, and instead of wet blending, you start wearing away some of the paint that you already put there.
Oh,
damn it!
No.
Love that. That's the best.
Oh, I love it. It's fantastic.
I need to get some drying retarder. So right now, I'm working on number 3 of my 7 cavalry that I've got going on. I recently finished up mostly my Wolf Lord on Thunder Wolf. I just need to do the power effects on the hammer. I have done some basing. So my restoration project for the High King is coming along. Actually, it looks way better now that the base has some stuff on it. And then I got some colors blocked out on 16 Tau infantry. I'd show you one of those, but there's some wash drying on them. So I have definitely been busy, even though my company was bought out. So I'm going through a transition this week. So I've had a lot of nights this week, kind of like trying to get stuff for my team members and my sites, get everything lined up the way it's supposed to be. So I haven't had a whole lot of painting time, but definitely even if it's just an hour, I've just been plugging away at it because I've got so many projects on my table. And normally I'm okay with having multiple projects on the go, but now I'm getting to the point where I'm getting tired of looking at them on my table. And I'm getting to the point where I just want to be done with them. I'm like, why did I challenge myself to do 7 cavalry at one time? And I mentioned before we stopped the other stream that the longer I do this hobby awesomeness, I just come to find that I am not a batch painter. I keep trying to do the batch painting thing, and the only reason why I've really made any headway on some of my cavalry is that's why I've got 2 out of 7 done, because I started just focusing one at a time in single DPS.
Batch painting is no joke, and I'm serious. I gotta give it to those who do a great job, like Sergeant Oddballs. Oh my gosh, those guys, jeez.
Yeah,
they put so much. I mean, they can put out so much product in such a little bit of time. Like, how?
Running Bear, I just saw an email from you saying that the chat is disabled, but that was at 8:36. I assume it's been fixed now.
Yeah, it's working right now.
I'm secretly a masochist. Yeah. Ooh, Dragonlance. Oh, somebody mentioned Dragonlance. That is one of my favorite fantasy series, and thus some of my favorite D&D systems ever.
I love that series, man. Right up until they started killing everybody off.
Yeah. Yeah.
They came back years and years and years later, and they sort of did a next generation. It just wasn't the same.
Damon and Downfall and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't the same.
I mean, Damon's story was okay for the first book, but after that, they just kept killing off main characters left and right. Like they were Game of Thrones or something.
When Caramon dies of a heart attack.
But let's talk about the in-between series. Okay. When you finish the first Dragonlance story, the Dragons of Autumn and Spring, and
yeah.
When you go on to Test and Time of the Twins.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That
right there is some of my favorite fantasy writing ever.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
That was the name of the first quartet. Right? Chronicles and then Test and Time of the Twins. Dragons of Summer Dawn. Yeah, baby. Summer Dawn, Summer Flame. Yeah.
There was spring. It was fall. There was fall, winter, and spring were the original 3, and then Summer Burning was the beginning of their new version. And
it really picks up with Downfall, where Damon comes in. I mean, there's some of the smaller side stories, but that's where it really picks up in the main story again. But yeah, definitely the twins. Autumn Twilight. There we go. Autumn Twilight. Yeah. Yeah, those are all so great.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite fantasy series. Definitely Wheel of Time. I don't know how we got on this, but Wheel of Time. Anyways. Oh, right, because we were talking about old school RPGs. I'm easily sidetracked. I know.
Shiny object, shiny object.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
This is a form of abuse.
What else did I do this week? Oh, I mentioned all the stuff I painted. I was tempted to keep putting stuff together, right? Oh, also got a Redemptor Dread on the go. Forgot about that. I was actually tempted to try and rush paint that for tonight's game, which thankfully I didn't stay up all night painting that because we ended up not being able to play today. I don't know if I've had a game yet this year, come to think of it.
Sure you have.
I haven't.
I know the last 3 we set them up, and then like between my job, your job, of course, health, you know, we had to keep putting them off.
Right.
I don't know if the last one was before January or not. Anyway, ooh, squirrel. But yeah, so definitely, Redemptor Dread is another project I've got on the go. So I've done a lot in a variety. I really need to focus now and get some stuff done. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like I accomplished a lot this week, but it was just a little here, a little there. You know, blocking in colors on infantry, not that difficult. 2 cavalry, that was kind of a detailed project. The Zenithal on the Dread was real quick with the airbrush. Oh, man. Okay, so I'm on the computer now. I'm not on my phone because I wanted to not have shaky camera. But last week, everybody in the chat made fun of me because of my open drawer methods for holding my airbrush whenever it wasn't in use.
We weren't making fun of you. We were in shock of you.
It worked, kind of, ish. So anyways, I went out, and instead of getting an actual stand, I went for less than $2 over at Walmart. I got a coat hanger with a double prong fork that sits like this, and I just drilled it into the side of my desk and installed it. And actually, it's the perfect airbrush holder. It's awesome. Less than $2.
There you
go. So that I did that this week. As I mentioned earlier, got my chainsaw. Did I mention that on the last live stream or this live stream?
Last live stream.
Yeah.
So my lovely Lily installed these command hooks here to put up my sword armor. So now I've got that going. Pretty pleased with that. And then while we were painting this weekend, my wife and I caught up. We're like 2 episodes away from being caught up on everything that's been released so far for English on Attack on Titan. So pretty pumped for that. So yeah, it's been pretty, like, I haven't gotten a lot done in any one direction. Not a lot of focus, but I've definitely done a lot of a variety of things. Plus, like I mentioned earlier with the transition, it's been a really hectic week at work. So yeah. I think things have been okay.
As long as you get something done, that's always a step forward.
I'd like to, and I apologize for not throwing this idea at you, but I didn't think you'd oppose. But mostly I just forgot, Freakalicious. But in addition to us doing Art of the Week, I'd also like to do a channel shout out, you know, whenever we think about it or have a chance.
Gosh, yes. Why haven't we? Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I didn't think it'd be an issue. But you guys, I am repping my TMP, the Miniatures Paintbrush shirt tonight. And they've not been able to do their live streams lately because Rob's computer completely died on him. But he's definitely got some things going. He's selling off some of his Pokemon cards. He's selling off some of his TMP T-shirts. And, of course, he's also got a PayPal going if anyone wants to do any donations. But anyways, I'm not saying you got to go throw money at him.
I am. Go throw money at him. He needs a new computer.
Definitely go check his channel out. And if you feel like it, you like what you see there, you know, if you do throw any money at him, it might help get his channel back on its feet. So
you will love what you see.
Another computer and it is a great quality channel that we would definitely like to see come back whenever he does get it.
Yeah, spread that hobby love, guys. Help a bro out. Good channel.
You're a good channel.
I know.
I get so ADD when I paint and talk at the same time, and I have just put my big old thumb on this wet blend I just spent 2 minutes doing on this backpack.
That's why I can't paint while I'm doing something else. I just can't. Nope.
I actually, when we do these talks, I actually get way more painted than I would just sitting here normally, but I think it's because my ADD, like doing something mentally active and then doing something physically at the same time.
Sure.
Usually when I get the most production in.
Yeah, maybe. For me, if I do this, I'll look like I've put something together with a crayon.
Well, it's all about knowing where you're at and staying in your lane, right?
What lane?
Any painting done is painting. Any painting done is painting you don't. Oh, you painting you don't need to do later. I was like, what? Are you saying I didn't need to do my painting? Gotcha. We were talking about that Hellchild, my man. I know it looks crooked here. I swear to you, if you use a level, it's level, and if you stand at the door and look at it, it's level. But for some reason on screen, it comes out crooked. I don't know. I think maybe my desk is off. I don't know.
Your desktop's probably crooked a bit.
Probably.
That's just the camera angle.
Or, oh yeah, like you said, camera angle. Trilogy. Oh, Lord Soth, definitely very cool. Knights of the Black Rose. That's also from the Dragonlance novels. Hellchild says he got put in YouTube jail chat. What?
Yeah, if you put too much, if you try to type too fast or too many, it'll actually stop you.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's YouTube chat jail.
Glad
you've been paroled, my man.
Archer says he's able to do a good bit of assembly while we're in midstream, and then it switch back and forth on a single model being painted. Okay, so he does a variety and he does the focus map.
That's cool.
Don't drink the paint water, Mythos. I don't drink the paint water. I just use brush.
I do all the time, which probably would explain a lot.
Love the channel. Got me involved with Frost and Fist. Thank you, Brother Meeks. Yeah, definitely. Rob is definitely a great channel. And Thomas agrees with this. My camera is crooked. He got timed out. That's funny. He got put in timeout. All right. So now that we're caught up on the chat, we talked a little bit about what we did this week. We've shouted out a channel. Let's do the art of the week. Right. I really love your choice. Man, Steve, I'm sorry we were so rude. We didn't give you an option to pick out anything for the art of the week.
Do you have by chance?
Oh, yeah. Is there anything that you've seen online this week that made you go gaga?
Or goo-goo? Radio
Gaga. Not Lady Gaga. We don't want you to be Lady Gaga. Let her do her own thing.
Radio Gaga. Radio goo-goo.
Radio Gaga.
Exactly.
Radio goo-goo. All we hear is Radio Gaga.
Back. Feel it.
Anything that's really gotten me excited.
Don't look like that. Make me feel uncomfortable.
What is it? There was a cover for it's funny because you mentioned before the Shadowspear. There's an amazing cover to their book where they're going up against the Night Lords. If you can find that picture, it's great. The Shadowspear, it's really hard to tell who's really the good guy and the bad guy because the Shadowspear are very, very savage chapter themselves, and the cover is just fantastic. Man, I can't remember what the name of the book is called, but it's fantastic.
What's the name of their chapter master, Tyberos or something like that?
Yeah, the Red Wake. I think that's it. Tyberos, the Red Wake.
The coolest claws.
Yeah, I have lightning claws that have chain swords on the inside.
I'm sorry. The first coolest would be Wolverine, different universe. But the second coolest would be the Red Wake.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
You're pretty cool. Who got him?
It looks like a Terminator.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what it is. Ooh, okay. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, it's an up close of there's one of them in the center, and he's got a chain axe. There's Night Lords behind him, and
okay, I guess not.
He's aiming with the bolt pistol.
What's the name of the book, Steve?
I can't remember the name of it right now. I'm trying to think of it off the top of my head. It's not coming to me.
Let me see if I can find a book. We will. Ooh, I think that not Black Shields, not Primal Center. Red Tide?
That might be it.
Oh, that's the one that our brother Zai may have seen him previously on the channel. Brother Zai actually got the author to autograph that one for him.
That's cool.
So this is what he's talking about. This bad boy.
Yeah, that's it. If that really, I like that art. That was fantastic looking to me.
That is really cool. And to give a shout out to the author, Robbie McNiven, Brother Zai just reached out to him on, I want to say Twitter, and they chatted a little bit on Twitter, and eventually, brothers, I was just like, hey, if I sent you a book, can I get your autograph? And dude did it.
Really? That's pretty awesome. That is fantastic.
And that, when people appreciate their fans like that,
Yeah.
I always kind of stuff.
Oh, it's a world of difference.
Yeah.
I've mentioned before that my favorite band in the world is a band named Season of Ghosts. And, I mean, they do amazing music, but a large part of what I love with them is their interaction with the fans, the same kind of thing, you know, that love to their own fans.
They're not untouchables, which, you know, I think they've reached that level of stardom where they could be if they wanted to. I mean, they're absolutely fantastic musicians / singers, but you know, they're very personable, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's cool.
I mean, the band members, when I hit them up on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, they still call me by my first name, which is awesome. Even if I'm using like a screen name like Frosty Fist, they're like, oh, and Sophia having a Greek accent, she pronounces it Methos. I'm okay, she can mess with me. Actually, it probably is the more correct way to say my name because it is, you know, my family's from the Italian-Greek border, right? And, well, 1/4 of my family is from the Italian-Greek border. And
I'm sworn you were Scandinavian.
Huh?
Said I could have sworn you were Scandinavian.
And I'm all Americanized and stuff like that, so, you know, they probably pronounce the name way more correctly than I do.
Yeah, I like it when she, you know, calls out my name too, but it's the name that's, I think, still in a restraining order, so.
Archer says that the book cover is ironic because they're supposedly the Kasharadons are a successor of the Night Lords. That's pretty awesome.
Huh. Didn't know that. Good to know.
I think this is what you were saying, Freak, about Season of Ghosts is big enough that they could be untouchable if they wanted to be.
Yeah.
He says they could be, but they choose not to be, which is amazing of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely keeps me a fan.
Almost done.
Mito's Asian? What? I'm Asian.
Okay, so I'm 50% Asian, and then I'm a quarter Italian and a quarter West Kentucky.
West Kentucky,
that's a thing?
Yeah.
Is that short for Mexican?
Well, since I was going regional, location with the Italian and Asian sides, I thought I'd go location with the part of me that's just straight up Caucasian. Part of me's a Southern white boy.
Oh God. You heading out there, Dark Light? Dark Light's heading out to work.
Good night, my brother. I just had to check to see if it's summer or winter today. Hashtag Texas. That is so true.
Yeah. Just 2 days ago, it was 28, 29. Now it's in the 70s. God. So tiring. Anyway, you know what they say, if you don't like the weather here in Texas, wait 5 minutes.
Ain't that the truth?
Yep. All right, you want to move on to the next art of the week?
Art of the week. Start with yours because those Alpha Legions look amazing.
Oh, okay. I had yours already.
My bad.
Queued.
My bad.
All right.
West Kentucky for the rest of the episode.
Well, you keep at it. I might join you.
No, that's West Mississippi.
Oh, that's true. It's definitely miles away from that. This is such a cool looking model. Really, really like it. I got to be honest with you. I studied it for a little while in the transition on the sword, the chain sword. It almost looks like yours. You know, hanging in the background.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really like it. I mean, nice transition. This is definitely wet blending. Whoever did this did a great job. I don't know. It looks like wet blending.
And this is a Primaris conversion. As we've all know, I've said many times on this show, I cannot stand the old static metal model for Ragnar. And this person said,
in the second edition oldness.
Yep.
But also, I mean, you can see a nice combination of, or blend of the yellow to the orange to like a reddish, kind of like a sunset.
Mm-hmm.
I usually do that with my my Imperial Fists.
Yep. I was noticing that yellow work looks a lot like your Imperial Fist.
Yeah, it's a nice transition, kind of get that sunset look. Love it. And I tell you what, this whole blue, almost like a blue with the light blue highlights, kind of gives it a little Tron look. You know what I mean? He did a great job with these highlights. It's really cool.
Painted for You is the name of the artist on Instagram. Yep. And I hit him up. You know, I was so in love with this because, as I've mentioned, I don't like the original Ragnar, but I love the character. And so, of course, I was hitting him up and asking him, how did you do this? What parts did you use? So this is a Primaris Lieutenant. I didn't ask which one because there's 52 of them. It's a Primaris Lieutenant with the sword out of the Space Wolves upgrade pack because they give you Ragnar's sword. The head is from a named Space Wolf character from the Death Watch. I want to say in the Kill Team starter box or maybe the Kill Team board game. It is one of the named Space Wolf characters. The head is a top knot from Wolfen, several top knots from Wolfen, cut up and meshed with some carved green stuff, really giving it a really, really awesome look to, you know, that top knot that Ragnar's supposed to have. You know, really gives it the perfect look.
I tell you what, he did a fantastic job. I mean, even the highlights on the cape, jeez, just really nice work.
Okay, so Running Bear is a Heinz 57 like myself. He's got some German, Irish, Apache, and Southern and all Southern country boy. That's awesome.
Holy cow!
Very, very cool mix.
I think we all have some kind of wow.
Whoa! Shots fired in the chat.
What? Where? Ooh.
James said West Kentucky equals inbred. Hey! I'm 25% for West Kentucky.
That's it. We're going there.
And my ancestry is all the British Isles. I'm English, Irish, Scottish, and Welsh. And then obviously Canadian. But yeah.
I probably, you know what? We might be related because I used to tell people all the time before I started doing this YouTube thing, because
we are related. We definitely were related, boy.
Damn it!
Don't listen to a damn thing I say.
And anyway.
That's why they keep confusing the two of us. They say, man, you and me so look so
God.
So of course we are. We're sexy. That's why we work at Chippendales. They can't kick us off the stage. You know, every time we get up there, you know, we get a lot of requests, but we usually stay anyway.
Oh,
that is from Death Mask.
What you say about Kentucky? I'm getting retina burns.
Oh wow!
I'm gonna step away for a minute.
And
that'll be stuck in my brain for a long, long time.
You're gonna be stuck in my brain.
I knew you were gonna say that. I so knew that. Oh.
So yes, this is amazing Ragnar. Definitely much preferable to the current Ragnar. I would take this Ragnar any day of the week. In fact, GW just needs to go ahead and, you know, get with Painted for You to just go ahead and make that the new Primaris.
Yeah, they need to get on with primarisizing all the characters.
Every time you primarisize a character, though, freaking internet goes wild.
Yeah,
Death threats and everything.
Have you? That's older than the internet, man. There's a certain rage when Games Workshop changes anything. That's been going on forever and a day. Before the advent of the internet, it was letters.
I mean, there is some reason for it. I mean, I'm not saying that they're all justified, but you know, when you invest a lot of money into certain models and all of a sudden, and I get it, it's lore, you know, whatever, but still, you invest enough money into something and then all of a sudden somebody outside of your control changes it, you're going to get pissed.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but nobody has even said at this point that you can't use, or won't be able to use, you know, your regular size Marines. People are getting pissed about a potential future problem.
Sure.
There's not even anything set in stone yet, and people are already pissed, you know?
Well, okay, but what's been the history? I mean, if they're getting pissed about something, then they're probably looking at being burned before.
You know, I get that certain armies have gone away, like Bretonians and stuff like that, but that's because that was a whole different game change. You know?
Yeah, but my point is that if they're rattled, it's for a reason. When you have that much of a change, and here's the thing, there is no question that GW has made a lot of changes just within the last 6 months.
Sure, so, I get that. But I mean, if you see a Twister coming, does it do you any good to be pissed at the Twister?
Oh, hell yeah. Well, I get mad. It's coming my way. Dang it! It's a Twister! Yeah. Don't you? It's coming for your house. What are you going to do? I'm going to get mad. Then when it gets close enough, I'll just jump in the ditch or.
My damn squats, don't get me started. I'd be skinning some peeps over that.
See?
Speaking as someone who's been on both sides of the battle lines there as a customer and an employee, people get upset about everything no matter what. You can never make everyone happy.
That's true. No,
and even when changes came out that people demanded and wanted, when they got them, they still complained about it.
Well, I mean, the bigger Space Marine is one of the things people demanded for years.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you got it.
This whole thing is something they asked for. I think Darklight has it nailed on the head, though. He said that this really comes from the problem that, you know, 80% of the internet is rudeness and outrage to begin with. So
I totally agree.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I get it. There are going to be some people that are going to be absolute asses. You're not going to change them. They're going to gripe about no matter what changes are made, no matter how extensive or how minor the change is. They're gonna cry. You know?
Damn it, Mito, stop putting your finger on top of the backpack.
What's that?
I said, damn it, Mito, stop putting your finger on top of the backpack.
I wish you wouldn't. Anyway. All right. Let's move along. Here is one that I put in. I really love.
Got some Alpha Legion in the chat tonight.
I was really
wow.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Miniature Real Studio just, oh my gosh. Here's the thing, and this is why I really wanted to showcase this. Number one is that, okay, first of all, the choices in color is just phenomenal. I love what they did, but the choice of the Zenithal effect is completely opposite of what I would have done, and this works. If you notice, the highlight is on the bottom instead of on the top.
Right, it's called bottom-up highlighting. It's actually a technique I've tried to emulate. Also last week when we had Elstonation in the chat, that's one he focuses on too as a commission artist, is bottom-up paint.
And I think I will try to emulate this. This looks amazing. It just gives it some depth that I haven't seen.
It really does. Also, and I think this is typical of Alpha Legion, and Darklight agrees. He says he loves the color. Hellwork says that's awesome. But typical of the Alpha Legion, but I think executed way better than I've ever seen it done before, is Alpha Legion usually has that thing where there's a dark blue in there and it graduates. You know, most of the time when we highlight stuff, we go like a dark green to a lighter green to a lighter green, right? But there's some dark blue in there somewhere underneath all that green. You know, you can see that kind of transition, which the Alpha Legion colors emulate because they've got the Hydra thing going on. So I think that combination of colors just looks amazing.
And this one, this here, look at this. Oh God. Okay, the cockpit. I mean, it unbelievable. It just screams.
Also, some of my Forge World specialists in the chat. What's that fighter? That looks really cool. I've got a Xiphon Interceptor ordered. Actually, sorry, I've already got it. It's being worked on as a commission from the Nerd Life. Check out the Nerd Life.
What did you get?
It's a. I don't think you're familiar with it. It's a plane called the Xiphon Interceptor.
Huh.
This is another Forge World plane too, and it looks amazing. I think seeing it in this amazing paint job, it makes me want one.
Yeah, me too. I really like this. I mean, you know, it's crazy. You got all these interceptors and fighters and all that are coming out. They just and I'm looking back at my my poor Stormfang, or it's not Stormfang. My Storm. What the hell?
Alan?
Yeah. My Storm Talon gunship, man. It's just, man. It just looks kind of
like,
you know?
Yeah, that piece of crap.
Yeah, it's like, man, look at that big bulky thing. That's a Pinto. I want a Ferrari, man. Screw that noise.
It's just you talking about the sass in your voice when like I'm looking at my Storm Talon. You gotta have me that sass that reminded me of the meme where a guy's walking with a chicken holding her hand but looking back at another chick.
Yeah.
That's this jet for you. You're holding the hand of your Storm Talon and you're looking back at this baby.
Yeah. Yep, I'm getting slapped.
Archer says it's I knew our brothers in the chat would have us covered.
Nephilim.
Archer says it's a Nephilim fighter.
Nephilim.
That's pretty cool. Nephilim. I'm good with the words, apparently. That thing I know, though, that's a Sicarian.
Sicarian.
I know. I've been corrected in my videos.
Don't be Sicard. Don't be Sicard. Sorry.
God, that Alpha Legion just looks so good on that tank.
I know, dude. Look at that.
That's some really nice stuff.
Gosh.
Sicarian. I need to get the others. Sicarian. I need to get the others painted up too. The missile variant, the plasma variant.
I need to put mine together. I got so much.
Hey, don't. Just leave that power to me.
You shut your face.
In fact, I'll buy the other one off you if you want to. It looks like you're never going to get around to it.
You shut your face. Look at this.
Oh man, that's pretty.
Jeez.
What's that? The Storm Eagle?
It's the big bird.
Steve, my man.
Yes, sir.
Storm Eagle or Thunderhawk? That's Storm Eagle,
That
right?
is a Fire Raptor.
Oh, I'm all off.
Horribly off.
Yeah.
The worst.
I want to paint something like this. I want to paint it just like that. Look at that.
That looks amazing.
Oh, God night. Jeez. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work. Anyway, now that now I feel inferior, what do we talk about next?
Even Darklight says that's beautiful. That's such a gorgeous jet. All right, so that is our art of the week. Oh, we actually have topics to talk about this week, huh?
Yeah.
Well, since you are already screen sharing, we might as well go on to what everybody is talking about. That Shadowspear.
Shadowspear. Yeah, sure.
I know things.
Do we want to go with that first, or we want to go with the new guy that came out?
Whatevs.
Okay. Let's see here.
You know, that's how professional I approach things. Whatever.
And I know a lot of this has already been covered by the channels, but I mean, we are unique in our own way. So,
I mean, that's the cool thing about a live stream is we're not doing a first coverage. We're just sharing our thoughts and chatting with these beautiful people in the chat.
Exactly. And I got to be honest with you, since I started, and I have to continue, by the way, I know I've kind of fallen back a little bit, but reading the Horse Heresy novels, the characters that make, 30K and the entire story of Warhammer to begin with, it's just amazing to see them almost like come to life with these new models that are coming out. So we're talking about very own.
And what's cool is that what makes this different from the old metal model is this is, as they've said, this is War Master Abbadon.
Yeah.
This is definitely an avatar of chaos here. Right.
Incredible. And it's just hard to imagine that he was part of the Malabar, and a friend to
the Mournful and all that.
Yeah, fighting for the very, Loken, fighting for the very cause for the for the Emperor, and just watching him in the opposite glory, It's incredible. Just, nonetheless, you look at that, gorgeous. This is a beautiful model.
It is. It's absolutely fantastic. I like the fact if you see some of the other stuff, there's 3 different heads. You've got him like there grimacing. You've got the one with the mouth closed. There's got one with a respirator on.
Yeah.
And you can either have or not have the cape.
I would definitely have the cape.
Absolutely.
That just so dynamic.
So what's really interesting to me is a lot of people are saying, and I don't know if since I've seen some of these comments if he's had his rules released or whatnot, but a lot of people are saying they're expecting him to be Primarch trained.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people say he's supposed to be equivalent to G-Man.
Oof.
Which, makes sense for his title of War Master, but at the same time, that's going to piss me off, because then we'd be at an equivalent 3 Chaos Primarchs to our 1.
I know.
Actually, it's interesting that you bring that up, because if I remember correctly reading something on their page, is that they're talking about the Chaos Space Marines. They're actually larger now because of their time spent in the warp. So I think we're going to be looking at larger Chaos Space Marines.
Like larger in physical size there?
Yes, larger in physical size because of their time spent in the warp being corrupted. And I have a feeling Mr. Happy Pants there will probably be the same way. He's going to be larger, much larger. I don't know if he's going to be Robbie G size, but he's going to be big.
But is he going to be G-Man power? To the point where we borderline have another Primarch. That's
maybe. They've already upped Mr. Calgar there.
And if they give him the kind of upgrade like Marnius, that's fine. That's fine. If they give him a G-Man upgrade though, and the explanation I saw from, and of course this is just online theory, but the explanation I saw is that, if he's supposed to be an avatar of Horus in the same way that, as an avatar of Horus, the War Master, in the same way that G-Man was an avatar for the Emperor, direct confrontation. But that's still, it can't be a direct confrontation because there are 3 of them. It's not a one-on-one direct. It's a 3-on-1. Give us a freaking loyal Primarch.
Getting salty.
I'm not quite at full salty yet. I'm more. This is just a desire to have my shit. Okay.
Okay.
So, what would get you all the way salty if I said something like Death Watch?
I'm not going to skip ahead yet. I'm not.
Okay, yeah. We got stuff we need to. So let's go back to Abbadon.
But yeah, that looks amazing. And
right. Yes.
Nick says he loves the faces and the sword blade. That's another thing that makes me think he may be G-Man size. Is a lot of people said that sword is supposed to be comparable to the Emperor sword that G-Man is using.
It'll be interesting to see.
Like they're supposed to be opposing forces.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that goes back to G-Man sword is a direct avatar for the Emperor, you know. And so this War Master's blade may be the same.
Kind of looks like the sword from Wrath of the Lich King.
Running Bear says Chaos needs the help. I understand that they've been underpowered for a long time, but man, they still already have. Boost up their game, you know, their actual units. Don't give them 3 Primarchs to R1. That's bullshit. You know, it's not like, hey, every day at school you got 2 cookies while your friend got 1 cookie, and then 10 years later, it's like you still get your 2 cookies, but this guy over here gets the whole damn ice cream sundae bar. That's not how you fix that. Are we retro paying Chaos? Is that what's going on here? It's like, you know what? I understand Chaos Marines have sucked for a really long time. Let's just make up for it by giving you 3 power. I understand I'm getting salty. You know what? I'm going to start changing our thumbnails from saying live stream to salt stream.
Yes.
Although people may, if I named it that, people may go search that on like RedTube.
Right. Now this is pretty epic. I love the claw.
Yeah, I love Uncle Adam from Tabletop Minions. Is always called Abbadon's Claw.
Yeah.
The tickler, so he calls him Uncle Tickles.
Jeez.
Looks nice.
And you know what? He's still, sporting the all-seeing eye, the same eye that Horus.
Oh, of course.
You know?
And that combi bolter on his wrist looks pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Just overall, the whole thing looks imposing, like I think a War Master should look. You know.
Oh, the sword is what really gets me. I really love it. And look at the faces, the screaming haunt faces on it. That is just so cool.
Absolutely.
Well, the sword is supposed to be what is it? A captured demon that was created from the first murder.
Nice.
And it's only a sword because he wants it to be a sword.
Oh wow. It
can be whatever he wants it to be. And it's only a sword because he wants it to be a sword. It could be an axe, a spear. God knows what else.
That's so cool.
Was that what Horus's mace was?
No.
No, something else.
He found some. What was the story for it? During one of his Black Crusades, there's this gold skin being that came to him and showed him where the sword was.
Here's a size comparison.
He's pretty close to Robbie G size.
Yeah, it definitely looks like he'll be G-Man size.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it definitely looks like we are going to have 3 Primarchs to our 1. Yay!
Yay!
And, it's about 3, but it's not really about 3. It's not like I want to do like some people who are throwing, on the same table, Motarian and Magnus at the same time. And when this comes out, they'll probably have all 3 and try and fit it in the list somehow. It's not like I want one of those situations. I just want the variety, so that way not just Ultramarines get the love,
Right.
Just the same way here, you could play Thousand Suns and get the love. You could play Death Guard and get the love. You could play Black Legion and get the love. Giggity. Although, I mean, you could really play as Slanesh and get a different kind of love, but you probably couldn't enjoy as much as you think you will. Anyways.
Can I just mention on this picture here that Abbadon has an off button?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of great pictures that say Abbadon, Abbadon.
Abbadon.
It's almost like
10,000 years and no one looks for the off switch.
Darth Vader's switches in his front panel, breathing panel.
Yeah, the worst place to put any sort of apparatus.
Right?
That's like some kind of grenade or something.
I don't know what that is. It's plasma. Something. Looks plasma.
You look plasma.
What? Oh, oof. Oh. Sorry, Steve.
Yeah, he did.
He did. He gone.
He did.
Nothing? Where did I put my black paint?
Yeah.
All right, so Abbadon is awesome. In comes the Salt Lake Flats level. I'm not that salty. I'm just a little salty. I'm just saying, I'm not fully salty. I just want my shit, okay? If I got to go a little East Kentucky every time I say it, I want my shit.
That's just so cool. Yeah, Chaos is definitely getting a lot of love lately here. I mean,
which is cool. Like I said, I'm okay with everything else that they're doing. Okay? And I'm really okay with Abbadon. Abbadon looks great, and I love the character from the book. All I have to say, it was really interesting how he was a very... Okay, so you got the books. In the books, you meet Horus, and he's such a likable character, and you get to watch his fall.
Right.
Yeah.
And the first book, Abbadon is a really likable character, but instead of getting to watch the fall, it's like he's a likable character, and then book 2 starts, and there's no explanation. Just Abbadon is straight up.
I never saw Abbadon as a likable character. He's always a bit of a
he's a prick.
An arrogant little bugger.
Yeah. I thought he was likable in the first book. You know, there's a little banter, a little chat back and forth.
There is, but he's got a pride to him already. He helped in the fall just by being himself.
Let's take a vote down below. Guys, let me know if you liked Abbadon in the first book or if you just thought he was a dick off the bat.
Massive bad guy.
Even saying that I think we came out better in the rules from Shadowspear over Chaos. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff really cool on both sides. And I'm not even saying, trust me, I am not saying in any way that Chaos doesn't deserve any of this power that they're getting. Okay, I would be okay with them getting even more power. I'm just saying the fairness flat out of Primarch ver Primarch, right? That's the one thing I think is not being handled correctly. Okay? Like I said, I understand that we kept getting more cookies than them, right? They've got the whole damn Sunday bar, right? Overall, we're probably still stronger, but damn it, I want the damn new toys that they have.
Never.
And it pisses me off because, of course, a lot of people have been saying, who are they? This just reminds me of a conversation Freak and I have. Whenever somebody says what they say is, he always stops and goes, who are they? Anyways, so people have said that there's a theory going on out there that this might be the way it always is. They might end up doing all of the Chaos representation, Black Legion and all 4 Chaos Gods, and we might be stuck with just G-Man forever. Because their theory is that with G-Man being the avatar of the Emperor, there should only be one representation of the Emperor.
I don't agree with that at all.
I'm sorry.
I'm seeing it. I'm just ignoring it.
No. Look at what Atomic Dog Freak said.
Right. Wait, what? I should hope the first thing I see is Mythos going off.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't think I'm this way, Brian, but what some of the guys tell me is that I'm like this every Friday. So that's what allegedly happens.
Yes, yes.
Now don't listen to Lily in the background.
It's okay, Mythos.
Allegedly, I'm salty on Fridays. Running Bear says, screw that. Oh, well, apparently everybody is in agreement with you guys. I'm in the minority here. Running Bear says he is a capital D.
Yeah.
Says Abbadon is a douche.
A real douche.
Oh no, he's full on. He's not a nice guy from the get go.
Yeah, I
It's kinda like-
he was just very, very, really haughty, man. Very, very, like, definitely lacked humility.
Well, he's the tip of the spear, right? He's the first in.
Yeah, you're right.
And he's the first company captain, right? So his arrogance is right up there.
People like playing just a tip.
You're cut off from telling any more jokes. You're done.
Maybe it's all the paint I'm eating.
It's the paint fumes. You got to ventilate the room.
Or you must be drinking the water too.
Actually, I've made some pretty good progress on this cavalry dude while we've been chatting. All right, so let's see what else.
There's my happy little dread almost done up.
Dread is coming
Little
along.
dreadnought. Needs a few last minute touches and
Blues, do you actually? That's a really good question. That's not related to anything we're talking about. But I am going to be starting to paint some. Once I clear all these projects off, I really want to paint awesome Marnius Calgar and guards that freak out me. But I don't want to start with the awesome units, right? I definitely want to make sure that I know what I'm doing with my Ultramarines by the time I paint that up. So at some point, once I clear these projects off, I want to get something for the Ultramarines, tacticals, or maybe probably some intercessors. But my question is, what blues do you use for your Ultramarines? Because I've noticed that that dread there is very vibrant.
it depends on how I've decided to paint them. If I'm taking my time, I'll go through a whole slew of blues. I'll start with the dark base and then go up to a lighter blue, and then do the line highlighting with even lighter blues. Or if I really just want to get them done, I'll usually do a base blue that's kind of light, and then do a quick wash, and then line highlight again with that original blue.
Okay, that dreadnought there, which formula did you use?
This was, I do this one like I do my vehicle, so it was just a black prime. Then now I'm using old colors too. I actually did Ultramarines blue on it, which doesn't exist anymore, I don't think. I don't know what they changed it to. And then I do a dry brush with a gray over top, a light gray, a bluish gray. And that's pretty much what I do for the metal.
That gray is probably one of the things that helps add that vibrancy, huh?
Yeah.
That's
and then the rest of it is just the lots of metal because, yeah.
Cool. Well, good to know because, like I said, I'll be starting that soon.
I remember I got challenged way back in the day by one of my coworkers to do, I think it was the 10th company captain, one of those old Masters of Chapter models, in the using the heavy metal style. We had a book for it, and I think by the time it was just done the blue, I had 8 different colors of blue on it.
Wow.
Yeah. Took a long time. It took a very long time.
I'd like to see pics of that.
I will dig him out and take pictures. And to go back to the batch painting. I had the batch painting life thrust upon me. The very first thing I had to do when I worked at Games Workshop was paint up 50 Moria goblins.
Wow.
Yeah,
You didn't use the batch paint life.
Oh, it was basically do all the green, and do all the metal, then do all the red fabric, and then do all the basing. It took me about a week. And that was on top of my normal job responsibilities. We had to get it done up for Games Day. Back when Canada still had a Games Day.
Jeez.
Yeah, that hurt. My brain almost broke doing that.
I bet.
Yeah, it hurt.
I'm glad it didn't hurt your hobby spirit in the long run.
No. I did once when I was left that job. It took me a while. I had to step away from the hobby for a bit, but that was more due to the people there at the end than the actual hobby.
Hmm.
Admittedly, when I stopped being a line cook at Arby's, I stopped eating at Arby's for years.
Yeah.
So, similar feeling.
No, but so what do you guys think of Shadowspear?
Well, is there any of the other Chaos releases on that page, Freak, that you want to go over? I know we got derailed.
There are some in the Shadowspear stuff, so
Okay.
that's part of that.
All right, cool. So, some really, really amazing looking stuff there. And one of the things I think is kind of funny that I didn't realize was size on how people feel is the suppressors. The big gun.
Yeah, let me see where it's at. I gotta be honest. There's a lot of good stuff in this box. Of course, they're going to showcase everything Chaos because they're all that Chaos. But let's see, where are they?
I gotta say, a lot of the stuff is not useful to me because you guys may know him. One of the guys that I play frequently in Imperial Fists, which negate cover saves. So all of this scout stuff does me no good.
Well, it's only the librarian, the captain, and the eliminators that have any of the scout stuff. I think the other guys have like and they can set up with 9 inches, but they don't have any of the beneficial cover stuff.
That's true. A lot of deep strike stuff.
The lieutenant's got a grab shoot, so he can jump in whenever he wants.
And I don't even like him. I mean, he looks cool, but and this is probably the Space Wolf in me. When we have heroes like lieutenants and stuff like that, typically we want to put a power weapon or something with some AP on there so you can get there to do some damage.
These guys are all about shooting. These guys are built for 8th. They're all about shooting. He's got a close combat weapon, so he gets an extra attack. He has a knife. What was it? He has a special roll for his as a knife fighter. I think any natural rolls of a 6 cause an extra hit. So he has something like 5 attacks, but he can end up doing potentially something like 8 hits.
Yeah, those snipers are nice. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, heavy snipers.
And this is something I really feel like, because I've mentioned before that I feel like there are problems with Marine snipers. They have the worst snipers in the game with scouts because strength 4 0 AP does not a sniper make. It's like, I can hit your characters. Hit them with what?
Right. And yeah, I mean, if you make it, great, but the chances are very slim.
Yeah, I mean, you're relying on, and typically most people's characters are usually a 2-up save, so you're relying on them really to roll 1s, right? I've got a whole squad that can make you hope you roll 1s. Ooh.
Yeah. Is this a squad that has their own apothecary?
Yeah, the infiltrators have a helix guy that he acts like an apothecary, but only for that unit.
Right. Still really cool. These guys, I mean, I can imagine them really good objective holders, or man,
See, there's something cool about it because they have the Marksman bolter carbine. It's not the same as the bolter carbine that the Reavers have.
Yeah.
The Reavers have the Assault 2. These guys are Rapid Fire 1, but I think they also have something where if you roll a natural 6, it's an auto wound.
Yeah.
Yep.
When they hit, and then which is, I mean, it helps, but it's they're still strength 4, AP 0. So I mean, you're not going to be punching through any armor with those things.
Honestly, and really, I'm not even sure how they fire these things to begin with.
Well, they're just like bolters, except they auto wound on a 6, basically.
No, he's talking about a pet peeve of his where the scope is in front
How
of
the hell do you aim that thing? Where you looking at? Here's the freaking sight right here. Here's the scope. I can't see anything, Captain.
See, well, the thing they don't mention anymore is the Space Marines, when they have their helmets on, can actually see through those scopes.
You're really selling that to me.
That's the way it used to be. That was the old fluff.
What do you need a scope for?
I don't know, dude. If you ever actually look at their artwork, when those Space Marines are firing their guns off, there's little shells going everywhere. But if you ever read any of the fluff around bolt shells, they're caseless. They don't actually have a case to them. They're like mini rockets.
But this right here,
yeah,
that don't make no sense.
I know it doesn't make any sense. It's Warhammer 40,000, dude.
Okay.
It's not supposed to make any sense.
I think somebody literally designed this and just needs to be beaten with a shovel. All right, I'm done.
James Meek says those new scouts, not the sniper ones, the troops ones.
Which ones? The
infiltrators, yeah.
Yeah, infiltrators. Says they can break Overwatch because if they hit, they're already hit, so free wound on Overwatch.
Yeah. If you hit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's game breaking, but it's definitely a nice little bonus.
It is a nice perk, absolutely.
Well, apparently they're supposed to have their own. There's their own codex in there with their own special rules and all that. Their own. Stratagems and all that.
This is pretty cool too. Look, their marksman bolt carbines. A roll of 6, it's an automatic wound.
Yeah,
that's pretty sweet.
That's what I was mentioning with the Overwatch. So if you Overwatch, you're hitting on 6s anyway, so it's going to be that automatic wound.
Right. Pretty freaking sweet.
You're pretty freaking sweet.
What?
Those guys are pretty cool.
Yeah, they are cool. I do like them.
I mean, the suppressors are pretty cool too. Their rules are nice.
Oh man. There's a picture I put into our little group chat earlier of suppressors riding on Thunderwolves. Somebody said,
"Yeah, I saw that."
We all know the flight stands are definitely a problem.
Yeah,
and I like that they increased the stats a little bit on these sniper rifles.
Yeah,
really, really good. I mean, they're still heavy, but look at this.
But it's got AP, it's got multiple damage. That damage is one of the things I love about. I always say, AdMech, we have the best sniper rifles.
Yeah, this right here definitely would give some competition to those. I mean, this is very love these stats on here. Love that.
Very cool.
Here's the suppressors now.
So I get one of the things that makes people angry, and I totally get it. You've got heavy weapons, and you've got jump packs that encourage people to move 12 inches at a time. Right. So it doesn't make sense that you're going to be moving and hitting on 4s constantly, only making 50% of your shots.
But it's better than the good old days where if you moved, you couldn't fire heavy weapons at all.
That's true. This seems like a design weirdness here,
Well, they're supposed to be they're supposed to be a suppressing unit, right? They're not always made for the kill. They're made for slowing other units down, right? So you can have 3 of them firing, I think, a total of 6 shots, and if they kill anything, the unit they've wounded can't do anything the next turn or something like that, I believe.
I'm sorry, sir. You're talking to a space wolf. We don't understand the concept of attacking something you don't intend to kill.
well, you intend to kill, but it's not always just about the kill. It's about stopping stuff from doing other things.
Yeah, I get it. It's basically, and that's what this is. That's what this says is basically, you know, it definitely keeps them from.
Yeah, they can't fire an Overwatch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's cool. And you know, at first I was excited because I was like, man, this can finally be something that helps out my Malay troops with freaking town. I thought about it, and I'm like, no, it's not. Because if it's something, most of the stuff is just going to put the wounds onto a shield drone unit, which is a separate unit. So even if you kill one of them, they're still, it's a different unit. The shield drones won't get to Overwatch. Ooh. Or if it's something like what's one of the things that nukes people on a charge? Riptides. Well, you'd have to kill a whole damn riptide and hope, you know, and then of course, even if you kill the whole damn riptide, they're usually separate units, right? So this again, it's not going to help you with the later. Plus, Tau is going to be aiming. You know, they've got that supporting fire option. So even if you keep one unit from overwatching, there's just an Overwatch with 15 other units. You know. So, anyways.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about these models is that they basically put them in the Inceptor bodies. I like and I'm talking about. Well, I do too, but what I can't stand about the Inceptor, these models, is that these flying bases, yeah, these just.
I love the look of them. I just wish they functioned better.
You're right. I do too. I totally, yeah, me too. They break, they crack, they're garbage, and I really wish that they're able to fix that. I mean, I love the look. It just. Really aggressive looking, you know. I mean,
yeah. Just come up with a different way to get them zooming around, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think
and
Lieutenant, he's pretty cool. See, he's cool because his weapon doesn't allow cover saves. His bolter does not allow cover saves.
Yeah.
Although it's still a bolt carbine, so I mean.
What's that?
He's redundant for an Imperial Fist.
I know. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he really is. He like, hey, come join out. Oh, well, I guess it won't matter, huh? Let's see. Let's look at stats here. Mastercrafted Oculus Bolt Carbine. Same range as a No More Bolter. That has the rapid fire keyword. Strength 4, AP 0 does 2 damage instead of your standard 1 damage.
Yeah.
The benefit of cover to the saving throws against attacks made with this weapon. So basically, these guys are little mini Imperial Fists.
Yeah, right. Pretty much.
Well, we're propagating now. All right, I really like
what?
This guy.
Okay, so Running Bear says nice perk against, or James Meek says nice perk against the Tau, the stopping Overwatch. Running Bear says, look what you can have heavy weapon team with. That now move 12 inches to hold objectives. It's like a Devastator that can take objectives. And with that,
nothing wrong with that.
We still haven't seen the new stratagems for these guys. So somebody else pointed out that maybe they have the weakness where they have the heavy weapons that move because you might get a stratagem later that might let you ignore that. As Wolves, we already have a stratagem that we can spend 1 command point and get to ignore move penalties and stuff like that. So I think that's cool. Wargamer Vikings, Spud says, good morning, my brothers. Hope you are all well. Won't be around long. Want to try to get back to sleep. What is up, Spud, my brother? Thank you so much for joining us on this chat. I know it's your normal sleep time, and if you go back to sleep, my man, rest well. That's the new captain, right?
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
He's a cool model. That's a definitely head swap coming.
Yeah. I definitely get this model.
Huh?
I would get this model.
Yeah. He's pretty nice.
No, I would get him. I would just head swap. He's the same thing that we talked about with Hall Red Blade. His face just looks a little weird.
It's pretty cool because face
cool.
You don't like his head?
I personally am not a fan, but I think it's just my style.
I am the Terminator. Oh wait, hold on.
I am the Terminator.
You know what? A lot of people have been talking about the face on is that lieutenant we were just looking at.
Oh,
A lot of people say his face is upside down.
Yeah, look upside down. It's like his head's to the top, or his mouth to the top. I think it's just because his forehead's all wrinkly. You know, it's
because he's got that visor up there.
Yeah, man, come on.
No, I like him.
It's a cool model. I like him too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he looks cool. I think he looks awesome. I'm just saying, a lot of people, and it's hard to unsee it when people take the picture and they've been flipping it upside down and showing it online. I'm like, it really does kind of like an upside down face. But I think overall the model looks awesome.
It really does.
The captain looks fantastic too. I love him. It's a big cape. He looks regal.
Yeah, very majestic.
I think just my personal taste. I would probably want to put a Space Wolf helm on him and give him the long flowing hair, the big beard. You know, it's just my.
You just want to turn into a dirty space Viking.
Yeah.
You space Vikings, you.
What's really cool about this bad boy is that he's got the Omni Scrambler, right? Keeps Jokers from landing anywhere within 12 inches of that model. Really cool.
So that boosts that bubble from 9 inches to 12 inches. Yeah. That's pretty helpful.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you got to be, you know, like already if somebody deep strikes 9 inches, it's difficult to make that charge. But if they can only deep strike 12 inches now, that's an almost guaranteed fail.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another point. Who said that? Running Bear? Yeah. So basically, this captain basically acts like a sniper or like a scout. Really freaking cool.
He's got his heavy weapon. It's like a sniper rifle on its own.
Yep. And he's got the camo cloak.
Yep. Now this guy, that's another one I definitely want to be.
Yeah. It's a gorgeous model.
Freaking Jedi. I love it.
I want this model. I gotta have this model.
I like this Phobos armor.
Yes.
It's really cool armor.
It's very tactical looking. I mean, in general, Phobos is tactical looking. His with the leather vest and gloves, though, I don't know, it looks extra hardcore. It looks extra Jedi-ish.
I love it.
From what I remember reading about this, the fluff of this story is they, when this force goes in to destroy the flesh factories, he's the only one that makes it out.
Wow.
He looks like he's a guy who could survive.
Yeah. What is this deal? I don't remember. Let's see.
Scryer's Gaze.
Scryer's Gaze, yeah. Causing eyes to glow with ethereal light. Flame begins. Scryer's Gaze has a warp charge of 6. Manifesting select friendly. If it wasn't within unit within 18 inches of Psyker. Until the start of your next psychic phase, you can re-roll failed hit rolls. That is fantastic.
That's great.
Yeah.
Any animals do not receive the benefit of cover to their saving throw against ranged attacks by them unit. Ouch.
That right there.
Man,
so all of a sudden, those infiltrators are able to do extra those auto wounds. You get to re-roll failed hit rolls, and they don't get a boom bonus to their cover. That combination is getting nasty.
Yeah.
Now the eliminators with that D3 damage bullcrap. With this, oh man, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
As long as they have that Adeptus Astartes Phobos keyword.
Shrouding has a warp charge of 6. Manifests select friendly Adeptus Astartes Phobos unit within 18 inches of the Psyker. Till the start of the next psychic phase, enemy models can only shoot this unit if it is the closest target. So basically, he's a character.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Now this one is cool because it's friendly chapter, so it's not restricted just to your Vanguard force.
Yeah, within 3 inches till the end of the phase. At 1 to hit rolls for attacks made by that friendly unit. Very nice.
That's cool.
This is really I love this. It's at the seat. This is the first battle.
Oh, this is a gross one.
First turn has begun. Pick up the 3 friendly chapters.
I don't know which one he was mentioning, but Atomic Dog Skull Model Freak says one of them looks like Dr. Doom.
Yeah, it's the he's talking about the
Awesome.
The librarian, yeah, or whatever. Both players have the ability to allow them to redeploy
Yeah, my friends,
units.
don't talk too much. We love hearing you talk, man. We love the engagement.
This is really crazy, man. Really amazing stuff.
It's
very
good stuff.
Yeah, I really like these models that have come out. Yeah.
I'm hoping there's nothing that's going to restrict Space Wolves from taking some of this stuff. Like our librarians are supposed to be rune priests and whatnot. I hope there won't be any restrictions. Now, if you're into the chaos stuff, again, we've mentioned multiple times on the channel, we're not really into the chaos stuff, but man, we can appreciate how cool some of these models look and how good some of these rules are.
Yeah.
Now, because we play chaos, I've heard some people go into deep discussions like, even though the stats are better for obliterators, the way they've reworked them makes them overall worse and whatnot. We don't really have the working knowledge to give you opinions on that because nobody in this group particularly plays chaos.
No, but I definitely have a fascination and appreciation for those models for sure.
Yeah,
the new
models
work.
Give me a second here.
Trying to find...
Where did I put it?
I'm sorry, Brian, my brother. I got a little focused on the painting. That's my bad.
Any of you guys getting the Titanicus?
No.
No, I'm probably going to stay out of that game. It looks cool, but
yeah,
I've got
I played enough Epic back in the day. I don't need to play it again.
So
it's pretty much what it is.
Party box Shadowspear that we can talk about. I do want to bring up a point. So far, all the other for 8th edition, all the other 2 army box sets that we've looked at have been $150. This one is $175, about 25.
It doesn't surprise me.
Than what we've seen from the other box sets so far.
It's because of the Venom Crawler and the Obliterators. They're bigger. Takes up more plastic. They're going to expend more money to make them.
That makes sense to me. But what do you think overall? Like, do you personally? I know you're talking about the logic of the size of the models, but I'm just saying for your value, your money, do you think that extra increase in the box set price is worth picking up these models? And I'm not saying your personal financial situation right now. Let's just say you've got $150, $175 to go on a box set versus Dark Imperium. Would you still get, a box set like this? Or in my case,
well, I think this one is a bit more also because each one gets its own codex as well, right? Dark Imperium, you got some stuff to sort of get you going. This is a 2 full separate armies that are separate from their originals.
Yeah, it's definitely self-sustained.
Yeah, so I mean, each one is getting its own codex with its own special rules, its own warlord traits, its own stratagems, right? So this isn't like, here's a couple data slates to keep you going, add them to your codex. They each get their own codex. The Venom Crawlers is pretty big. The Obliterators are pretty big. You're getting brand new Chaos Marine sculpts, the new Greater Possessed, a bunch of new characters, bunch of new Marine units. So yeah, I think it's definitely worth the price.
I have to agree.
Cool.
I mean, and that what is he? The Master of Possession or whatever it is.
Oh, the
Master of Possession. He's that's a fantastic looking model.
Yeah, very cool looking. And not only does he get his own, our Psyker got a new set, but also if you're within range of his Psyker, he can make your Psyker pair rolls on any doubles, not just 6 ones.
Yep. Yeah.
That's
he's also awesome. Yeah, he's nasty, man. Yeah. I mean, definitely he's definitely not a combat monster. I'm looking at the stats here, but he's definitely not someone you want to leave walking around the board too long. He can hold his own, but Yeah, the Greater Possessed are nasty.
Greater Possessed are pretty nasty. Plus, they buffed your Possessed units.
Yeah, well, the fact that they have a 5+ invulnerable save. They add +1 of strength characteristics of demon units.
Running Bear says we got to steal with Dark Imperium. This is steel. This is a steal even with the cost upgrade. So I guess in general are definitely a steal for their money, which I would agree. Box sets are definitely the way to go. You said you also get a codex for them too.
Yeah.
Or James Meek says you get a codex for them too.
The Venom Crawler, that's a nasty one, man. That thing is that's
Man.
You want to take that out as soon as possible. That thing is disgusting.
Yeah, because the Venom Crawler is going to have people summoning demons more easily. It's going to be healing up. If it gets in close combat, it's going to be reliably healing 2 to 3 wounds a turn. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
It's cool because it's got some pretty good 36-inch sniping capabilities.
Yep.
But man, if you let that thing get close, it's going to be hard to kill. With 2 to 3 wounds healing every turn.
Yeah, it's got a 3+ armor save, 5+ invulnerable save. Can regain wounds, make it easier to summon. Ouch! If it explodes, it can cause D3 mortal wounds.
Wow.
Oof.
That's nasty.
So even if it's about to die, just run it up to something and have it explode.
Yep.
The Chaos Marines look nice too.
Pop shots off.
Pardon me?
I said, or it can sit in the back and just pop shots off. It can do both.
Yeah, it's Assault D3 at 36 inches. Oh my lord, the thing's got how many attacks? Yeesh. And the obliterators. I like these new obliterators. They look just twisted.
Yeah, they look like
it's a step up even from the last ones. I mean, those ones have been around for a long time, but
like dreadnoughts. I mean, they're just
no big deal. Nothing too nasty for his green skin. They can handle them.
It's the random nature of their weapons.
Yeah, it's literally it's like their skin is wrapped around these weapons. It's like part of their. It's wild.
So you've got their flesh metal guns, which are 24-inch range, assault 6. Their strength 6 plus D3, AP minus D3, and D3 damage.
Oof.
Yeah,
so you roll a D3. This is when this unit is chosen to shoot the shooting phase or fires Overwatch. Roll 3d3 one after the other. Determine the characteristics of that unit's flesh metal guns. So even if you roll badly, it's strength 7, AP minus 1, damage 1.
Yeah, all you need is one hit. Oh.
And if you roll really well, you're strength 9, AP minus 3 damage. So that's nasty.
Yeah, it is.
And you may not want to get up close to them because after that they have the crushing fists, which are pretty nasty too.
So a lot of people have been arguing about this. Some Chaos players say that they seem amazing because of the higher damage potential, but other people say that the damage they dealt before was enough and that there's no reason to have to pay because with this rework they're way stronger, but the cost of 2 of them equals what the cost of 3 of them used to cost. They're like, we didn't actually need that extra damage.
Well, they've upped the wounds as well.
And the toughness.
On each one. Their leadership 8, 3 attacks each. And their movement is 4 inches, so they're pretty slow. But these are not guys I'd want to have like taking pot shots at me.
Definitely not. And I think Obliterators and of course Havocs are some of my son's favorite units. So I've definitely seen some of these lighting up my future.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're nasty.
You guys know, I'll come back on the channel. Let you guys know whenever some of these hand my butt to me.
Well, again, we don't know. We've seen some of the special rules for the librarian. We don't really know what this new what is it? Malefic. What was it? Malefic discipline is. We don't know what special stratagems each side has yet. So, knowing that, there could be special stratagem that make your obliterators even worse, like they're just even more deadly.
Hmm.
I'm hoping not, because they're scary enough as it is.
Right?
And you got to think in terms of 8th edition, right? People, I still find people going, well, they used to be better last. Yeah, it was last edition. Evolve or die.
Hey! I still cry about how good my cavalry used to be.
Hey, they're the way they are now. They'll change again one day. There's still more big FAQs to come and chapter proofs to come.
I don't know. I'm pretty convinced that after as much crap as they got over 7th edition, I don't know if they'll ever actually let my cavalry be on top again.
Well, at some point, we're going to have to get Warhammer 40,000 8.5 edition.
God.
Well, I mean, the amount of books one needs to play a game now, and downloads and printouts, it's getting ridiculous.
With all the betas and...
I heard another theory on that they won't ever consolidate that into an 8.5 codex or rule book. And the reason I've heard that is because they want you to have to buy after this, that, all that good stuff.
Oh, of course. I mean, there's definitely that, but it's going to get to the point where it's completely unwieldy. It's almost there already. The fact that I have to have a rule book, my codex, 2 chapter approved, 2 big FAQs, a white dwarf for the beta, for the Bolter rules if that's being used. So it's getting to be too much now.
Yeah, I mean, index. If you're going to play index rules, I mean, there's...
Oh, it's disgusting now.
Oh, yeah,
it's getting too much, too big.
There are some units where you have to take the index rules.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. But hopefully that'll change up soon. I think the indexes need to be retired now.
Don't say that.
Still waiting for the of Rain there to come out in their own codex.
Don't say that. I have 5 Outriders on the way, so that way I can make my Stormbolter Stormshield veteran squad. I'm gonna future-proof those though, in case they ever do take. Well, we know it's coming at some point, so whenever they do take away the index options, I'm gonna magnetize Stormbolter. I think future-proofing things is the way to go for now because of how much things keep, changing.
Yeah, I know. I that's kind of why I want to pick up these new guys, because they're like, these guys aren't going anywhere for a while.
Right.
I mean, I'm sitting here with tactical squads going, are they or aren't they? Are they going to stay around? Are they not going to stay around? Are they done? Are they not done?
Rob from the Miniatures Paintbrush selling off his Great Hunters for that same reason, because he's got the same conundrum. He keeps hearing that all the players who are future proofing their stuff all say that it's time to no need to build new tacticals because I mean using them, but they say there's no need to build new tacticals because they could be going away.
I mean, they've done this before with models where they'll eventually just won't make any new ones. I mean, they won't make any new at this point, but they just let the stock run out. They don't get rid of the unit in future codices, but they also don't. They don't twist them or turn them into anything new. It's literally just you've got so many out there. This is just going to stay in the codex for next several editions.
And that's the way I feel like they're going to handle the the traditional power armor is that a lot of people are saying that it's just I'm not going to be able to use it. I think, like you said, with what they've done with some other things, that they're not going to tell you can't. They just won't make anything new for it, and
Oh no, definitely not. And the funny thing is, if you look at the Vigilus Defiant and all the special formations in there, there's these special detachments. It's all built around HQs and elite units. Right, that's it. If you look at the Ultramarine Victrix Guards, or whatever you call it, that special formation, it's all around captains, honor guard, Victrix Guard, Stern Guard, Vanguard, ancients, and all that. There's nothing about troops in there at all. I've also looked at the Black Templars one because I have a Black Templar army, and it's the same thing. It's all built around marshals, and Sword Brethren and stuff like that. It's all built around the elites and the HQs. Nothing about troops at all.
Now, I have the opinion that we didn't get one, but for the sake of countering your argument, the Space Wolf one is Blood Claws and Reavers.
Oh, well, again, Reavers are elites. Blood Claws are a little bit different because they're just out there. I like Blood Claws because they're crazy, but they're troops, but they don't act like troops. Thanks to their whole crazy blood-soaked nature.
Hellchild says he likes the Obliterators. It makes them actually look like Obliterators. Couldn't agree more. So Brian from Atomic Dog Scale Model Freak says, has anyone actually found who took his dice? It's a question that's not been answered for a while.
I've been asking that since I first met him.
No, they're still missing. Actually, if you want to know, put it in the chat somewhere. If you want to know, I will tell you where the name came from. If you want to know.
I want to know.
Let me know in the chat.
Just a minute here. Hold on.
No, but the Obliterators, man, if you want to see old school Obliterators, look up the Third Ed Obliterators, man. Those things look horrible. God awful. In fact, I think they're a Gary Morley special.
Like I mentioned when we first looked at the Obliterators, Running Bear says purely by the math, the old rules for the Obliterators before Shadowspear makes them better.
Well,
yeah, so they're technically more powerful, but they're not as competitive. They're not as points efficient now.
Yeah. Now again, the question I've been looking around for and I haven't found an answer to is obviously right now. If you look at Vigilus Defiant and the Space Marine Codex, there's two versions of Marnie's Calga running around. There you go. There you go. Look at those beautiful things. Aren't those beautiful? Don't you just want to jab your eyes out?
They did.
Oh my God, those are horrible.
See now though why when people have done conversions,
that was a second ed, or that was third ed.
A type of conversion that I have seen before, where they'll just take a whole bunch of combi weapons and just glue them onto somebody's.
Oh, I've seen that before.
Oh,
look at my Obliterator.
Those people get beaten.
Why is half of the Obliterator's forearm made out of Play-Doh? This is my count set.
Yeah, exactly. Oh
my God.
Yeah, man, those old Obliterators were painful. Boy.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was the last bunch.
All right, so Brian also wants to know, and he says if it's going to be a long story, let him get a colon one.
It's not a long story.
Lily wants to know too. She's listening from the other room over there.
No, it's not a glorious story by any means. It came from playing games with a friend of mine, and we actually teamed up at one point to do a blog called "Who Took My Dice," and basically it came down to when we played games, we had the same dice, so things got very confused, and so you'd be sitting there packing up your dice, you end up missing it too, and we kept saying to each other, "Who took my dice?" Who took my dice? Who took my dice? Took it. Obviously, we knew who took it. It was an inside joke, and then we eventually decided to create our blog that didn't last very long at all. But we called it "Who Took My Dice."
That's funny.
And when that disappeared for a while, and I decided to do this, I asked my friend, "Do you mind if I use the name?" And that's where the name came from.
That's funny because as bad as I roll, I like to pay people to take my dice.
Please take my dice.
Please. Here's
Okay.
20 bucks.
Please take my dice.
Just take them.
Well, that's what you do. If you're ever rolling badly, take the dice that you're rolling and put them aside, and bring out some new dice. That way, those old dice know they've done wrong, and you punish them, and you use the new dice until they fail you, and then you switch.
I went through 3 different sets.
When you were playing Atlas?
I was playing Atlas.
3 different sets. They just kept failing you, so you kept throwing them across the room in anger.
Just about, yeah. Pretty much. I mean, I'm serious. I actually have to take a picture. Turn 2. 5 dice. 4 of them. Roll 1s.
Yeah. Well, I obviously have to teach you guys some stuff. So whenever you roll
dice, all 6s.
Whenever you roll dice, you have to say anything but a 1. It's like a mental helper. Just anything but a 1, and you're fine, right? Right. That's why if you have a missile launcher, you never say when you're firing your missile launcher, because the word "miss" is in there. It's always a rocket launcher. I don't care what it is. It's a rocket launcher because missile launcher has the word "miss" in it. You're gonna miss. Right? Just like when you're cutting towards yourself, you have to sing the "I'm cutting towards myself" song. That way you won't cut yourself. This is
Never heard of this song before.
Cutting towards myself. So I'm cutting towards, and you never cut yourself. If you don't sing it, you cut yourself.
How do you sleep at night, man?
As a safety professional, we're supposed to tell people not to cut towards themselves.
Yeah, typically it's
Well, you should know as well as anybody else that in the real world, those rules don't matter diddly, right? You got some pencil neck geek writing up rules and all that, and who hasn't been out in the field, no idea what he's talking about.
He's one of them. There you go. Those are one of those people. There he is.
Who, me?
Mythos, there he is. Yeah.
Uh-oh, Mythos is angry. He's salty now.
Not salty at all.
I always follow the safety rules, except when I'm getting towards myself.
Is totally different from Mythos. So, Mr. Kushranada worries about those things. Mythos is very good about those.
Mr. Kushranada, I don't. When I'm on a ladder, I don't have 3 points of contact.
You really want to? You want him to get?
That's Mr. Kushranada's problem. Okay, Mythos is not worried about that.
See, and that's what I think is fascinating. That they'll poke the Hulk. These scientists will keep poking him. It's like, we need to make him angry so we know what makes him rage and powerful. Is that what you're trying to do? You're trying to make him rage? You get the real Mythos come out? Is that what you're looking for? I've seen it.
No, it's just some friendly banter.
There'll be blood everywhere. You haven't seen it. All right? Yeah.
Brian says, now we know. Thanks to your story, Brian says now he knows, and knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe.
Yeah. G.I. Joe.
Brother Atlas has joined the chat just in time to hear about the rolling dice, and he says, "Hey, now Nurgle's dice were actually on your side for that battle."
God. Yeah. So he had me roll his dice. Like, no, I'm not doing it. He goes, dude, try it. Just try it. Like, no, I'm not gonna lie. I had like 4 or 5 sets already kind of sprawled out all over the place. And I was going from one set to another. And he goes, dude, here. And he puts them in my hand.
Hey, no pressure. Just try Nurgle's Blessing one time.
So
it'll be fine.
Sure.
Oh.
I rolled them. They were great.
So, Freak, what you're saying is that you have accepted the power of Nurgle into your heart.
No, I think I already had
interrupted. See,
No,
okay,
it's already there.
Mythos.
No.
You're the Space Wolf player. You have to go wipe him out now.
Think about it, though.
That's your job.
That's not how Nurgle's blessing usually works. Usually, you don't knowledgeably accept Nurgle's blessing. You just accept the power the one time, right? And then you develop a cough or a fly bite or something like that, right? So he accepts.
It's much more insidious than that.
And now he's had some health issues.
Yeah. Look what happened.
He's slowly becoming a Nurgle zombie.
Freak, you let your guard down for a second and they got you, man. Just
Is that
I'm disappointed in you. You're the Imperial Fist player. You're supposed to be stubborn and resolute, and you failed, man.
Yeah.
He held out. He held that ambrosia, and you took it, man.
So I was mentioning the flyby or the cough or the infection. It could be gas.
That too.
Hang on
That's
a second.
the other chaos god, flatulence.
Audio issues. Hold on 1 second, please.
He's cutting me out.
No. Seriously, you guys sound like who was the one who had the thermal detonator?
Robots.
In the yeah, it's bad. Hold on, I don't know what the hell's going on here. Let's see. Let's move this.
So Mythos.
Okay.
Oh, he's still working on it.
All right. I think we got it. Okay.
All right. Cool. Sorry about that, guys.
We're experiencing technical difficulties. Right. Elevator music.
Okay. I don't know how much longer it's gonna hold off, but I don't know what was happening, but it was acting out pretty bad. You guys can hear me okay?
Oh, we can hear you okay now.
Okay, cool.
What that was, we'll go back to what we were saying before about Freak falling to chaos. That was the actual sound of the warp.
What?
Or a meaning of a.
Thank you for trying to say something. I don't know. I can't hear you. What was that, Steve? I see your lips moving, but nothing really good coming out.
Stop muting my microphone.
James Meek says, "Didn't horrors do the same thing, Freak?"
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sarge's in the chat. Sarge says, "Is it raining?" Atlas says, "Nurgle's bloated fist has a nice ring to it."
Oh,
wow.
Oh,
that sounds offensive.
So bad, and yet so right. Nurgle's bloated fist. Oh, I think I saw a movie that was called that.
Really? What was rated? Yeah.
Oh man.
You said you think you saw a movie that was called that. Lily said, "So many questions now."
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure your face was on the front of it, Al.
I don't think so, because my face would be this.
That was like that, yeah.
And for the second time tonight, something that was said on this channel.
Oh man, you're gonna get so much trouble for that.
Yeah, I don't know how we have it run off half our live chat.
Your Lord is this champion named Kit Fisto.
Oh no.
All right, guys, let's
Be fisted with a plot.
Oh,
So we got Abbadon, we got Shadowspear. Our next topic for the night is hobbying in a busy life.
yes.
This comes up pretty frequently with the talk of the three of us. I think this is a good time to do a shout out to Edict Beer's Terrain Square competition. This year, the Terrain Square block with a line of sight blocking piece of terrain. And last year, about this time, is when I got promoted into this national corporate spot that I'm at. And it involved so much travel that I did 2 episodes of a terrain competition and then spent the next 7 weeks on the road. Never got to complete my piece of terrain. So I've definitely had my share of being busy in life and been unable to get in any hobby because I can't always take hobby materials, glues, knives, stuff like that on airplanes when I go travel.
Well, you could, but you wouldn't make it out.
I could do it one time.
Right.
All right, so you guys want to talk about some of your challenges that you've had, and then of course, if you guys want to mention it in the chat, some of your challenges, hobbying in a busy life, we definitely like to read some of those out too and get you guys involved. All right, Freak. Why don't you lead us off, my man? I know you've been super busy lately.
Yeah, well, I mean, okay, I think one of the biggest challenges is when you have one thing after another, after another, after another. And I know, Steve, you can relate to this. When you're going off from, and it's not necessarily all bad. It like, for example, my youngest daughter got married on Valentine's Day. Well, that whole week was just completely, it was just locked down. Not a whole lot I was able to do. And I'm a momentum kind of person. I'm that kind of guy that, okay, I have to get the momentum going. I have to keep moving because if I have any sudden stop, it could be for any reason. It doesn't have to be bad. It could be, like I said, my daughter getting married, and I just get sidetracked. Well, that derails my entire motivation. It really does. Just the way I'm wired, and I have to actually, once I get momentum, it's like a train, just keep going and going. Because if I stop cold turkey, then it's just so hard to get motivated to get back into it. And that has been a struggle for this entire hobby, and pretty much everything else really, but especially the hobby, because I put a lot of stuff, other things priority over the hobby, which is technically that's how it should be done. You don't put your hobby ahead of your family or ahead of responsibilities and things like that. And so you got to sacrifice. And well, it gets to the point to where you sacrificed so much. It's like, well, just going to let it slide for now. And then you start getting thoughts in your head, man, do I really want to continue to do this? You start to think, could I justify the amount of time that I'm putting into this game, into the hobby? The answer is always yes, because I love it. But it still does not stop you from thinking about that. From really concentrating. Spending or thinking about spending that time on a hobby and the amount of time that you lose. So after my daughter got married, I started running, and started feeling because I want to get back into shape, even though I am in shape, because circle is a shape.
Circle's a shape. Circle's a shape.
Round is a shape. And I really wanted to get back into better shape. And 3 weeks later, I freaking jarred a kidney stone out of one of my kidneys. This is great. So I've been dealing with this for the last 3 weeks, actually, 2.5 going on 3 weeks now. where I'm trying to pass this stupid thing naturally. The 4 years ago when I had my last kidney stone, I actually had it extracted because it was 4 centimeters large, you know, and had it had all kinds of jagged teeth and stuff. It was crazy and it wasn't coming out. So trying to take stuff that'll help, you know, dissolve it so I can try to pass it naturally. It's been a long, arduous journey for me. So I've been dealing with it. So it is tiring, it's time consuming, it's painful at times, but most of it is just demoralizing. So like this whole week, I have done absolutely nothing hobby wise. And I know I probably could have set some time aside, you know, but it's just being tired and just not having that motivation is really hard to really get back. So for me, you know, when I deal with my health, it's a big struggle to try to get back on the saddle when it comes to hobbying, you know, and then of course, you know, you're dealing with external things, you know, family and kids and all that crap. Because I've got three older daughters now. They all moved out the house. We're empty nesters, and you know, then we got the grandkids, and so you know, all of those things come into play, you know, and you know, you can't lock yourself in your room like you'd like to and ignore everybody, which I would love to, and hobby. So anyway, it's just one of those things. So this week I'm going to make it a priority to return to the hobby and try to get some work done, because I'm wondering again. I love the hobby. I enjoy it. I've got a lot of gray that needs to be painted, you know, and I don't know. I mean, it's just like I said, it is definitely a struggle.
Struggle is real, yo.
Mm-hmm. I'm totally on board with all that. I mean, I've been dealing with, I have 4 kids, so I'm busy. We have, you know, things like dance and scouts and all that. And yeah, on top of all the other normal life things, it is hard to get that hour in here or there. And then sometimes, you know, oh man, I really want to paint tonight. But then you look at the clock, it's 9 o'clock. I'm just exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So
you get to that point of it's so late, is it even worth it at the moment?
Exactly, yeah. So that happens often enough. I mean, this is the first real hobbying I've done in weeks. Simply because I just don't have the time. Wife had to go through some surgery. She's perfectly fine, but again, then it's she was unable to really do much because of the surgery. So then all of a sudden, it's you know, I'm not complaining at all because I love my kids, but now I have extra stuff to do.
Right.
And I'm missing a set of hands, right? So it's yeah, when real life kicks in, it can really derail you quickly. And then there's that desire to, like, there's sometimes just recently it was sort of like I want to, but I just don't have the energy or the desire to, right? When it gets down to it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hobby blues you kind of go through. I know everybody goes through it at one point or another. So I've tried to combat that in other ways. The other day, I dropped off a whole ton of Warhammer Visions books at my local library. I think it was actually yesterday. And there was a group of kids, gaming people there. They were playing D&D, but they thought it was awesome to get some free stuff, some cool stuff. So that's a good way to kind of spread the hobby love a bit and have some fun.
And you know, I've noticed that when you do nice stuff like that for other people in the hobby or another generation in the hobby or whatever, that's almost motivating too. Like, you know, you meet them, motivate the kids. Sometimes when I do stuff like that, I'm like, oh man, I go home and I break out my D&D books, or you know, it just encourages me to kind of do some of the hobby stuff because I've passed on a little bit of it. Even though I'm busy, you know, I try and when you come across that other motivating thing, you know, you fit it in somewhere. That's really cool, dude.
It was good.
I definitely feel you guys on all those things, especially since, you know, free know, I'm right here with you, man. I see you when you go through the pain and stuff like that. You know, I mean, Freak and I talk. Freaking wives have mentioned on multiple occasions that we sometimes talk to each other more than we talk to them. So I'm definitely, you know, I can definitely see when things, you know, like that. And of course, you know, busy and I've had a few days. I mean, not recently. I've been trying to, you know, in advance, but I guess sometimes will rob a whole weekend from me, you know, or a whole week from me, and then I can't. I'm on bed rest. You know, I can't get up. I can't paint. And it's funny because when you're not in pain like that, you think of it as differently. You know, you're like, oh man, a week home. You know, a week home from work on medical leave. I'm going to get so much painting done. And then because you're on bed rest, you're just balled up in pain in bed. You know.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff can definitely get in the way. And like I said, I am very, very thankful for the promotion I've gotten in the last year. And it's definitely been a really incredible experience working on a national level and doing the whole corporate thing. But at the same time, sometimes, you know, working until 6, 7 at night and putting in the long hours is just, you know, it's awesome because this is letting me take care of my family, and I'm definitely blessed that I'm in a situation where I have been able to, with a single income family, you know, still provide for my family. I'm thankful for what it's done for me. But at the same time, sometimes it's just like, man, you know, am I doing anything other than working right now? Or when you're back to back weeks on the weekends or weeks on the road, it's just like, man, I was in this town this day, this town, you're this town this week, this town this weekend. Man, I haven't gotten to do anything for myself lately, you know, or I haven't gotten to do whatever for the family. So I can definitely, you know, you see your own, you know, your different things that you wanted to do, whether it's your hobby or your home family stuff. You know, you see different projects fall by the wayside. It's pretty discouraging, and like a freak said, you get discouraged in one aspect, and it's so easy to say, "Well, just screw it," you know.
Right. Yeah.
So I definitely understand. So we've talked about the challenges. How do you guys keep yourselves motivated and pushing through in a busy life to get stuff done?
I'll answer that. This right here, we're doing it. It's, you know, this back and forth,
Right?
this camaraderie, you know, the friendships, you know, the encouragement, you know, the guys in the chat, you know, all of this. This keeps me going. This makes me want to keep pushing and like, you know what, this is so worth it. Every last bit of it is worth it. You know, so it won't take me long to get back on the saddle and to get onto it. It's just I just got to get past the pain, get past the, you know, just get over that hump and then finally get some time to put into the hobby. You know, this I told Mythos, I said, you know, I may not be 100% motivated to paint or, you know, to assemble anything, but I sure am motivated to get together and do this. You know, I look forward to these, you know, to these streams, you know, and talking to our friends on chat, you know, and because this right here, this, this camaraderie, this fellowship, if you will, it just makes it so much more richer, you know, which is a richer part of the hobby. You know, because
what's the best part?
Yeah, you're exactly right. It is the best part because you have the game aspect of it, which is fantastic. You know, then you've got the hobby aspect, which is amazing. You know, but none of it works without the human interaction, without the social interaction, and it's that social interaction that really. It's a social interaction that really, brings those friendships together, brings the game together. It ties it, and I think that's part of the biggest key is that the social friendships and interactions that you develop in relationships tie the entire game and makes the game special, to what it is. And that in itself is the biggest motivation. That's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me pushing forward to wanting to try. And even though I'll miss a game or I won't be able to get with Mythos on a weekend to play a game. Well, I'm going to try again. You know, we're going to keep trying to shoot for it. You know, as long as there's breath, there's still hope. You know, it's just.
Oh, absolutely. I tell you guys the truth. Earlier today, Freak said, "Man, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it," because we had a game scheduled for tonight. He said, "Man, I'm really not feeling well. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it tonight. But you know what? I can't wait to get on there and talk to everybody in the chat tonight when we do the live show. We're still doing the live show." So, I mean, he was really looking forward to it. Talking to you guys, talking to each other. I think keeping each other pumped about this hobby, you know, is definitely where it's at, you know, because you could do the hobby alone. Some people do it definitely very well. But I think this is definitely where the reward is for me, for like, you know, a lot of us. I mean, I think that's why we're spending our Friday night together right now. You know, so I mean, that's awesome. Just to go through the chat real quick. James Meek says, "Well, I think I'm deaf now after our big crash on the speakers." And Sergeant Allball said he's going silent. He's at work but listening. That's awesome. Have a good night at work, my brother. Running Bear says, "Golden rule: every hour you spend in the hobby, spend the same amount with your better half. If she ain't happy, no one is." Amen, my brother. Amen.
Yeah.
I think I've mentioned before that my beautiful Lily has a gold medal in breaking things, and that gold medal is a husband get right button. You know, she reminds me. She's not really mean to me, guys. She's awesome. She's incredible. But I know that the threat is always there. I mean, she's not threatening me, but you just got to respect a healthy dating.
So you really do run into doorknobs and door.
I go downstairs. Brian says, "Oh, crap, Freak, how do you avoid getting the kidney stones?" I cringe when you talk about that. So you answered in there. Well, I'm going to make sure to do that. I've yet to experience that, and I really fear that pain. Everybody is afraid of pain down there. Archer says, "Yeah, taking part of this when you guys taking part of this when you guys do it keeps me going hobby-wise. I think throughout the work week, I think I get the most done here as well, for sure. I'll stop my current project and do a one-off or a couple models." Running Bear says, "I hope you get feeling better soon, Freak." And James Meek says, "I agree with Freak. I love the hobby with a live show going. It's like sitting in a room full of you guys." Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's definitely. I don't feel like just when we do this on Friday nights, I never really feel like the experience of Friday night is doing a live show. It's hanging out with the guys. That's usually the way we phrase it when Freak and I we get on the phone when we talk to each other. We're like, "Man, I can't wait to talk to the guys tonight." So definitely, it is all about the social aspect. We're gaming with Gary says gold medal and breaking things all. I'm not joking, my friend. She went to she studied Hong Sudo, and she went to a tournament in Acapulco. Yeah. Yeah, when I used to do the old Wolf Brother Wednesdays, the medal used to be hanging above me. But she literally won a gold medal in breaking things with her hands, her elbows, her feet, your head too, right?
No, not my head.
Not your head. Hands, elbows, feet, and knees. Yeah. So I mean, so she literally in an international tournament in Acapulco won a gold medal breaking shit.
So just don't ever make her mad, like ever.
And what's funny is my friends tease me all the time because I have a type. Okay, when we're watching movies, we're watching anime, I have a type of girl that really draws my attention, and it's usually the ones that can kill me. I'm attracted to bad bitches.
There is a whole level of psychological study dedicated to people like you. You know that, right?
Really, I'd be interested to talk about this at some other.
I'm just saying that. This whole like, "Ooh, I love them if they can kill me" thing. It's.
I just want to say this. I just have to say this, and Lily, if you're hearing this, whatever Mythos does, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is.
Hey,
ladies and gentlemen, the golden medal. It says a Hyatt Regency Acapulco, Mexico. So June 28th, 29th, and 30th of 2006. It was a 3-day tournament. Yeah. So yeah, gold medal in literally breaking shit.
I once again want to reiterate that anything he does that does not
Fig made me do it. He was a bad influence.
no. I completely disavow anything that he says.
Y'all are bad influences on each other.
What?
Okay, wrong.
I'm in Canada, so that automatically makes me innocent.
Oh, let me tell you a story, y'all. I know we're getting off subject here, but this is when I knew she was the one. We were on our second date, right? We're at an IHOP. And one of the things when we were first talking to each other before we decided to date each other that interested each other is that we share a common martial arts background. Her and Tong Soo Do and me, I have experience it mostly with kickboxing. And we both have done tournaments, mine in sparring, breaking. And she said, well, tell me a little bit about your sparring career. And I said, and Mythos Kushranada, when he's trying to impress this lady, he likes to boast. And so the way I said it was with this silky smooth voice here. And I said, well, I don't mean to brag, but I totally meant to brag. I said, I don't mean to brag, but I've had 63 matches and no one has ever touched the moneymaker. So what she did, oh my God. That's what she did. Across the table and just lightly booped me across the cheek. And I'm just looking at her just stunned, like, what the hell?
Your mouth was hanging open and everything, like for real.
The waitress came up to take our order, and I couldn't even answer her. I was like,
We're going to need a few minutes.
why? And I knew, gents, she's the one. Wargaming with Gary says, wow, that is very impressive, Lily.
Thank you.
So, yep, that's how I knew she was a keeper.
Yeah.
Love stories at their best.
As long as they stay like that. And then unless you hear those words, who's that on the phone? Who are you talking to? Is that Freak? I don't. I'm thinking. I'm talking to Mythos. Is this a bad time? Should I not be on the phone? Right? Yeah, it's like there's stories. I'm telling you, there are stories. I still want to question her on some of these stories.
Oh, what happened to Dixie?
That I want to know, and I'm thinking she is still buried somewhere at that gas station somehow. I really, really believe, because it took her a while, according to the story. It took a while for her to go there and then come back, and then you said she was never seen again. There's a mound somewhere. Or there's concrete, a new patch of concrete somewhere in that gas station that wasn't there, and there's a grill on top of it.
Again, I want to reiterate: I'm in Canada and therefore innocent and cannot be implicated in anything that happens in your state.
Babe, Brian from Comic Dogs, get that on the phone. It's Justin from State Farm.
Oh God!
All right, the last topic we have for the night, because we're going way off the rails already. I wanted to talk a little bit, and guys, believe it or not, as much bitching as I've done tonight, this is actually the scheduled salty. I mean, I may have already dipped my toe in the water for this somewhere a little bit in the show. But this is the dedicated salty, and it's actually Steve onto the show because he has a lot of experience with this and has seen a lot of this, especially in his time working for Games Workshop.
And he's a good neutralizer. Trust me.
He is a great neutralizer. Neutral parties are definitely needed sometimes on the salt stream here. Oh, wait. My Sergeant says my ex was like that. Freaking playing a 40K game at a friend's place 5 minutes into the game. Are you done yet? Are you done yet? Where you at? Who are you with? After I told her where I was, etc. Blah, blah, blah.
God. Oh, jeez. Who that is? Who are you talking to?
That was a keeper, Sarge.
Who's Shaniqua? What?
All right, so the last topic, the salt stream. Definitely I'll get a different name because that really does sound sexual in nature.
I'll be back in 1 second. I'm getting some water for all the salt.
Well, apparently before we go on to that last segment, was there anything you wanted to talk about?
Wow, we ran off our guest. Oof. Got so freaking salty in here. Mm-hmm. No, man. Just really want to plug in my phone because it's dying here.
All right, Steve. I just saw your message. We'll try to get that taken care of real quick. So the preface of this last topic is I've been watching. You know, I've got a Corvus Black Star. I've got a Watchmaster. So I'm interested in Death Watch as a secondary force, and I've been watching a lot of Death Watch battle reports, and what I'm seeing a lot of is, I admit, Death Watch have the best bolters of, and a lot of people are smart to capitalize on that. But what I'm seeing is like full Death Watch armies in these battle reports that want to take nothing but the bolters, and they take like all infantry, and I wonder why they just get wiped. And I'm like, the spam lists are killing me. Like, these Astartes are supposed to, the Astartes have the most units, I think, out of any army. And everybody takes like the same 4 units, you know? And this right here with the Death Watch is driving me. First of all, I'm tired of this faction that I'm really interested in seeing to get their butts kicked all the time. Yes, they have great bolters, but they honestly have more than one tool in the toolbox. And Steven has mentioned that he's seen a lot of this same kind of thing. I wanted to comment.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's been, people have been trying to spam stuff forever, right? Because usually it wins. If you play it right, it wins.
We
and
tie
you
people
can
like
play,
to
you
spam
can
fried
play.
rice.
Pardon me?
We tie people like to spam fried rice. It goes great in fried rice.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can actually, I've seen some Death Watch armies be very successful using all the different bolter rounds and just having lots and lots of veterans backed up by their Black Stars and whatever else they want to use. It can be a successful army. Some people just don't play it right. But yeah, this sort of spamming stuff has been going on since, God, as far back as I remember. Back in second ed, people spammed librarians, because back in second ed, librarians basically auto won you the game. They were that powerful. In third ed, it became the third and fourth, it became the min-maxing, right? Where you'd have a captain, a librarian, or some other HQ choice. You'd have 2 squads of Terminators, 2 5-man squads, just the standard Terminator armament, but each one would have an assault cannon and the missiles. And then you'd have 6 units of tactical marines, all 5-man squads, each one in a Razorback, each unit armed with a plasma gun and a las cannon, and then Devastator squads armed with missile launchers, also 5-man squads in Razorbacks. It's a ton of firepower. And then after that, it went on to the Leaf Blower list, which got spammed. If you don't know what that is, it's a guard army that is filled with chimeras and lots of flamers and nastiness like that. That got spammed for a while. Then you had all your different Death Stars, which again was just a really powerful unit. It was cost a lot of points, could put a ton of damage, was practically invincible, had one significant weakness, but if you didn't have a way to deal with that weakness, you just couldn't stop these units, and they would tear through your army like it was paper. And now we're on to these. I mean, look, you have the Loyal 32, and they're called Loyal 32 for a reason, because everybody uses it. The Smash Captains, the Castellan Knights and all that, right?
There was almost no Imperialist at any of the tournaments this year so far that placed top 10 and didn't have Castellan.
Exactly. So that it's people find something that wins and then they spam it because they want to win. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to win. I mean, no one wants to go into these games going, "Gee, golly gosh, I can't wait to lose," right? But it's they spam it because they want to win, and it works if you know how to play it. That's the one part that some people get caught on. They go, "Oh, cool, this awesome list I found on the internet. I'm going to do it," but they don't know how to play it, and that's where you see armies like the Death Watch getting destroyed when they should be winning. They should have all the options there to be able to take on pretty much anything, but they don't, and that can be disheartening. I've seen it. I've seen Ultramarine players just have everything they need and just blow it horribly, just horribly. They make horrible decisions. They have a really powerful list. I've seen a lot of the Robbie G lists that lose because they don't know how to use it. They don't know how to use Robbie. They don't know how to use the other units around them, and it's just a big mess. But they spammed it because they've seen it win a whole bunch of times and think they can make it win. The spamming's been going on since forever. It's always been there. It always will be. People always find a way to spam a unit to and push it as far as they can before Games Workshop goes, all right, well, you're not doing this anymore. I mean, that's why the Battle Brothers chart disappeared, because people were abusing the heck out of that. So it'll always happen. It's always going to keep happening.
Life finds a way. Freak and I were kind of reminiscing about 7th edition earlier, and yeah, the spam was there too. We were talking about our local store.
What are you laughing about?
Okay.
What?
Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. It just reminded me of something. Okay, so those of you who don't know, okay, I'm a musician. I'm primarily a keyboardist, piano player, if you will. I play, all kinds of different, styles of music. Everything from blues to, whatever. I mean, I'm pretty proficient with that. But I also play for my local church, right? And so the pastor is making his closing remarks, right? And I'm on the keys, and unconsciously, I am, because I have my phone in front of me too, right? It's covered. I mean, nobody can see it, but we're on a group chat for the musicians and all. And one of the guys, I think it was a drummer, he goes, is he really playing the theme song to Jurassic Park? And I was.
In the background.
Yes. And it was nice and flowy and really pretty.
Did anybody notice other than the drummer?
So when I saw that, I said, "Oh my God, yes!" So I switched it to the theme song to Rocky.
Awesome. Drive safely, Gary.
So I started switching to all kinds of different theme music, and the pastor never found out.
Did the
your church
in attendance notice?
Do what?
Did the people in attendance notice?
They had a few people that were cracking up laughing. They had my daughters, of course, who were like,
"Oh no,
that was a no hymn that they heard."
Please don't eat me. Oh God, please don't.
I'm sorry. That's what
died us.
Oh my God! That's why I was laughing, because like, so you said Jurassic Park, the Jurassic Park reference. Oh,
you didn't catch it. We go off on that tangent because I said life finds a way.
Life finds a way.
Sorry, guys. It's ADD for you.
Morning about 7th edition and how when the Knights Renegade box came out and Knights were super cheap there for a while,
Yep.
Like everyone and their cousin and their mom who doesn't even play the game bought a knight.
Yep. I got a knight.
And there was like 2 schools. There were the players that came to our shop that did buy knights and ones that didn't buy knights. And those who didn't buy knights usually got ruffled.
Yeah, they were preparing to buy knights.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know they definitely got spammed all over our shops.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, that just kind of reminds me what you're saying about people just throwing tons of the same thing out. Everybody taking the same thing because they all want to win.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's always been that way. Even back in the days of fantasy, you always saw the same armies.
But you know, it's funny because like when I'm watching the Death Watch, a lot of them just get their butts stomped taking all infantry lists. And I'm like, there are really other things in the toolbox, guys.
Oh yeah.
I can understand that mindset, you know, because okay, let's just when GW really exalts or puts those guys up there, right? Especially with the new bolter drill discipline or the bolter drill discipline, right? And of course, they have all these other all these other benefits because they're Death Watch. Okay, the highlight is mostly on those troops, right? On infantry. So of course, somebody's going to go out there and say, as seen on TV, I'm going to try it to see if it works.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what they're doing. They're going out and they're like, well, why did I fail? I must have done something wrong. We will try again, rinse and repeat. As seen on TV, I got killed again. So they're going off of the hype.
Why weren't Sea Dude's power armor survivable? Because you had 60 power armor.
Right. But they told me that it works. They told me it was super awesome. They told me that it was so badass.
That goes to the fundamental problem with Marines right now is that Marines are in this weird place where certain parts of them are great, but the rest isn't. Marines are in this weird place where they should be better than they are, but for some reason they're not. Right? Even when your new stuff isn't that great. And
that's a topic going around a lot lately, and we should probably do a segment on that for one of our live shows. Not tonight because we're already towards the end of our show, but you could do a whole segment on that on, what do people think needs to happen to make Marines great? Nope. Don't all go off at once there because we're going to save that for another show. But
that's actually we should try that for the next show because that definitely be a good topic. We can probably do the whole damn show just on that.
Yeah, definitely. Real quick, Tim Running Bear wanted to know if you could pull up. He just emailed us his Death Watch list as an example.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to pull it up.
Yeah, let me see if I can do this
here. And after that, we will call it a night after we finish up our Death Watch discussion. Do you guys think that's the right way to run Death Watch? By the way, I see Running Bear said he's also mixing it with Space Wolves and some Forge World. I think because that's one of the things that Death Watch struggles with is being anti-armor. And so I think some Forge World would definitely be a right way to fix that problem and make them nice and strong. So I think that's a really, really good strategy there, Running Bear.
I think people need to build better lists, frankly.
Oh, here it is. I found it. Here's the list. Okay, hang on. Okay, I think we can just, we'll just, all right, we'll list it here.
God bless it. I think I'm overhandling it. Outrider detachment of Space Wolves with Bjorn the Fell-Handed.
That's good right there.
That's pretty good. Cyber Wolves.
Cyber move, very nice. So basically, squeezing in the long fangs and then getting an extra point there for fast attack. Nice and cheap command point there.
Yeah, Chaplain, Venerable Dreadnought, Chaplain, Venerable Dreadnought, Chaplain, Venerable Dreadnought, Battalion Detachment.
3 Chaplain Venerables. I've always wanted to try a Chaplain Venerable.
Librarian.
Yeah, that's typical.
Yeah.
Yeah, the veterans of the Biker and the Terminator get those special rules they have.
Oh.
And then Chain Sword, Storm Bolter, Storm Shield. Yeah, that's the pretty typical for them. Storm Bolter, Storm Shield.
Yeah.
The Storm Shield's good. It makes them a bit more survivable.
Really cool. Yeah.
3+ invulnerable save.
Very nice. So we've got, what, 3 units of the veterans there with this their special issue?
4 of them?
4?
Yeah, it's 4. Yeah.
Well, with the Biker and the Terminator armor, they do get some of those special rules.
Yep.
Can't remember what they are off the top of my head, but it does make the unit a lot better. And yeah, it's a Storm Bolter, Storm Shield, yeah.
If I remember correctly, with the Terminators, they don't... Something like that?
Oh, I can't remember what it is. The Terminators make them a bit more, they're, I think, stubborn or something like that. They stay around better.
Sergeant Oddball says his problem right now with the strategy is just trying to make sense of all the synergies and stuff. You know, and it definitely, I can see where that could be a thing, because not only do you gotta, you know your unit synergies, but then there's the stratagem synergies, what works well with what unit. Then there are certain strategies that you can stack combos on.
Yeah.
There are so many, there's so many variables that, I mean, it could take you, it could take you an entire year to master all of them. I mean, there's just so many different things.
And, you know, usually watching battle reports is a good thing for that, you know, just see what synergies are working for other people.
Right.
The question I have is, why do you a Wolfguard Terminator pack leader with your long fangs?
I love that. I definitely want to get a Cyclone launcher for that.
Okay, I guess that's why, yeah. A Power Sword and a Cyclone missile launcher, Storm Bolter. Cyber Wolves are good. That's yeah.
12 missile and 8 blast cannons. The list deals with armor nicely, and that is perfect, because I hear that's the one big thing that they struggle with, is dealing with armor.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Well, it's the way the army's designed. It's not supposed to deal with armor. It's supposed to deal with the squishy Xenos inside the armor.
Right.
But this is really cool, because these long fangs will definitely take advantage of the bolter discipline.
Also, the heavy bolter wouldn't.
The heavy bolter only works for a rapid fire bolter.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
But what it will take advantage of is the stratagem, where you can spend a command point and inflict mortal wounds.
Yeah.
Right. And you can also use bolter drill.
Well, bolter drill.
Yeah, good old bolter drill.
Bolter drill is Imperial Fist, sir.
No. It's a stratagem.
Yeah, it's
No. It's
Imperial Fist stratagem.
Bolter drill?
Yeah.
Yep.
Are we sure about that? No.
Pretty sure.
Because I thought it was a standard stratagem for vanilla.
Give me a second here.
Well, even if it's a standard one for vanilla, it won't work.
I might be calling the wrong thing.
The one where on 6s you get to roll shots?
Yes. That's bolter drill stratagem, I believe.
Yeah, that's a fist thing. Yeah, that's going to be out of the vanilla code.
Yeah, bolter drill, Imperial Fist stratagem. And that won't fly for Space Wolves. They have their own stratagems.
That's true. Okay. Yeah.
Now, those Venerable Dreadnoughts, I'd have to see the rules for those to see where they sort of fit in. I can see them sort of, you want maybe those guys to be a rushing unit, all 3 of them rushing forward, drawing fire. And
Dreads are definitely beasts in combat.
Yeah, those are the guys you want rushing forward. Those guys are the ones that you want them to take the firepower early on. and they reach combat, because you know they will.
And they're protected by the fact that they're characters. So it's like they're considered slightly better than Murder Fangs. So if you can imagine 3 Murder Fangs that are non-unique running at the end.
How many wounds do they have? Because once you hit 10, you can be targeted. But yeah, those are definitely, you want those rushing out both in front of the army, drawing fire, getting into close combat, starting to murder things before they inevitably go down, and that'll allow your veterans to survive a little bit longer. It's about giving your opponent unfavorable options. Do I fire at the veterans with the 3+ invulnerable save, or do I fire at the 3 giant murderous robots running towards me, ready to smash me with their dreadnought close combat weapon?
Absolutely.
And a lot of last cannon.
Well, twin last cannon's good. Last cannons are not what they used to be.
Yeah.
I think last cannons are one of the most underpowered weapons right now, because they only do D6 damage. They used to be great. Yeah, well, they're strength 9, AP minus, was it 4 or something like that?
I'm going to have to definitely disagree with you, sir. I think last cannons are amazing.
Well, the problem is it's that D6 damage. You can either do 6 or 1. I think it should be.
The random element is, I do think the neutron laser is definitely better because you get the minimum of 3 D6 damage.
Yeah.
Oh, they also get +1 strength for each chaplain, so that's pretty awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, chaplain dreads are amazing. I definitely want more, or I want some. I don't have any. I'm still working through the Space Wolf specific ones, so I'm going to put I've got a Redemptor that I've got for my army. I'm putting together. I've got a Vendread. I'm going to build a Murder Fang eventually. I like the way Murder Fang looks, but I really want to give, because he to me is like a big Wolverine. I want to give him a sleek body of a Contemptor Dreadnought. So I think I'm going to make a custom Murder Fang.
That would be cool.
Also, that'd be really cool.
I'm also putting Bjorn on the Forge World Venerable Dread body because and this is just me being petty, I want him to be slightly different than Freak's Bjorn. So that'll just differentiate them a little bit. But it's the same kind of
Freak.
It's the same kind of Venerable Dread body, though, just a different armor plate front. Altogether, there are 18
Murder Fang with his murder rage and his murder claws.
The Chaplain Dreads, altogether 18 strength with dread weapons.
Wow.
Holy crap. So even your toughness 9 crap wounding on 2s.
No, it's well, that's why you run those guys out first.
Yeah.
They'll draw fire. They'll save your veterans from a quicker death. And again, it's giving your opponent unfavorable options. Does he fire at the dreads, the veterans? Does he fire at the long fangs with the heavy bolters and missile launchers? Does he fire at Bjorn? You're just going to be rushing up as well, I would assume, or staying back and sort of steadying the line.
I gotta say, Running Bear is one of the coolest competitive players I know. He makes such interesting lists.
Oh, that's a fantastic list.
Yeah.
Nothing. There's really not anything wrong with that list.
It's
a lot of power
there. I wouldn't want to go up against that.
No, that's a hard list to fight.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, brothers, we are probably about to call it together for the night. Steve, do you have any closing comments you want to make?
Not off the top of my head, no. One of the things that I've been getting into now is sharing the hobby love. They said with those magazines and all that, it's something I think we can all do a bit more.
Sure.
I know I can, is get out there and just spread the love and the enthusiasm we have for our hobby with other people. It helps get people into the hobby, which is always good. It helps reinvigorate some of us who are maybe in a funk or are having those hobby blues. It's a good thing.
So it's just like, spreading Warhammer clap?
That's not the same at all, brother.
Oh,
no,
okay.
No,
I just wasn't sure that was the same.
No.
Okay.
This is more of a metaphysical thing instead of a horrible disease. So,
Running Bear says, thanks for the compliments on his list, and he says he loves hanging out with us all.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Freak, all of a sudden, he uses Nurgle dice, and now all he cares about is diseases and stuff. I'm sorry, Freak, but Mythos, you're the Space Wolf. You're the guy you're the Legion that kills the other legions. I'm afraid you have to take Freak out. For the betterment of everyone, for the good of the Imperium, you have to take Freak out.
I can guess that. All I gotta do is show him some gifs of poop, and he'll stay away.
Freak, do you have any closing comments, my brother?
No, man. Like I said, I think this week I'm gonna try to spend some time and actually get some paint on some models, and try to get back at it. And I got to get back at. Has so much I got to do. I still have to send Richard his. I printed his 3D worm, which looks really cool. Never got a chance to send that thing, and I'm going to try to send it again.
Did you do the worm?
Yeah, it's completely. Oh yeah, that. Yeah, I did. Yes, that too. Yeah, because that's sexy. Yeah, no, I've got to send that to him, and I really want to, take care of that. And there's some other things that I need to print out that I promised Hellchild I would help him out with. And anyway, I just got a lot of stuff. Here's something I did print, which I thought was really cool. I think I shared with you guys last time. I have these remotes for my VR, and I just don't like them sitting on my desk because they'll fall off if I bump it or whatever. So I wanted to make something that I can actually just when I'm done, I can hang this against the wall and then just
That's cool.
Yeah, and they just kind of sit there.
Very nice.
And when really easy, just gravity hold and it won't fall off. So it's pretty sturdy. So tomorrow I'm going to hang these up and get them off make more room on my desk. So I'll be taking care of that. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's pretty cool. Again, I'm going to put some more work on the town, more work on these cavalry. I'm trying to get these. I'm trying to push some of these. And I was mentioning earlier in the show today, I'm a hobby butterfly. It's normal for me to have a bunch of projects on the go, but I've had the same 10 projects on the go for so long. I'm in push them out, try and get it done mode. I am going to be hindered on that process some because next week I'm in California.
California, no side of party.
But I will definitely do what I can. I like putting up my progress along pages on Facebook, on Instagram, so you can check us out there, and I'll show you guys what progress I make. Oh, I also started Anthem last weekend, and I'm loving the crap out of that. I haven't been able to but it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, you're breaking up pretty bad.
You break it up, buddy.
What about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we're good.
I was just saying I started Anthem last weekend. I'm loving the crap out of that. I've been so swamped lately. I haven't really been able to dedicate any time to it, but I'm loving what I'm playing so far. Anyway, hobby tonight, guys. Steve, thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
As always, yeah, it was a pleasure, guys. Thank you so much.
Everyone in the chat, thanks for hanging out with us on a Friday night. Like we mentioned, you guys, is definitely one of the best things that just this kind of intimate chit chat. It's really awesome, and enjoy having you guys here. Brian says, have a good night. Of course, like I said, Running Bear said, love hanging out with you all. James Meek says, great time tonight. We had some really a whole nice variety of people in the chat tonight. War Gaming Gear with Gary was with us. We had Spud himself in the chat, Sergeant Oddballs. We had Atlas in the chat, Archer and Thomas, of course, holding it down. We had Mr. Mini Dreams. That was pretty cool. So, I mean, just we had a nice engagement, nice bit of chat discussion tonight.
We had a good open door. A lot of people in and out, man. It was really good.
Yeah. We went off topic a billion times, but that's okay because this isn't a formal show. This is more of a hangout anyway, so it's all good. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this episode, then grab up an axe and smash that like button in the name of the Emperor. And of course, if you guys are not yet subscribed to Who Took My Dice Miniature War Gaming, you guys are not yet subscribed to us here at the Frost and Fist.
Right, they're good.
We love have you as part of the pack.
Yes, do it.
Stay frosty.
Bye.